Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their series finale yesterday to the Yankees 5-3. They have an off day today before hitting the road for a series against the Angels beginning tomorrow evening at 6:38 in Anaheim. Elsewhere in MLB, the Pirates are calling up 19-year-old shortstop Connor Griffin, the #1 prospect in baseball, for their home opener tomorrow.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Okay, so it was not the series finale that we were hoping for. Bump, what I was hoping for was a run or two, yes, but ideally that would have come in a win. Instead, the Mariners dropped their series finale against the Yankees. And as you know, when it's this early in the season, the Mariners now 3-4 through 7 games, you have a hard time figuring out like what to really take away from it. Is there anything in yesterday's game, even if it was a loss, that you thought, well, that was encouraging?
Donovan continued making contact. Cole Young making contact. Mm-hmm. I went and I looked at just some of the Mariners' basic hitting stats, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, we're waiting on Cal to get going. Even though he had his moment. He's had 2 moments but during this series, but it's just not the Cal that we're used to seeing. I'm waiting on Julio, too. So I just looked up basic stats, right? Cole Young and Donovan lead the team in hits. Cole Young has 8, Donovan has 10. Donovan actually has the third most hits in the game right now. Randy leads the team in walks. Luke Raley has 14 total bases. Young has 13. Donovan has 12. Donovan has a couple doubles. Randy has a couple doubles. Rivas has the only triple. I'm going through looking at who's producing, and these are all the guys that we are expecting to help out. Minus Donovan, we expect him to really contribute, do some damage. So the fact that they made it interesting with this one. You won a game against these Yankees. You were shut out before. But the fact that you're getting contributions from these guys and the big dogs ain't rolling yet, it makes me be okay. And then Curtis went out there and threw some stats out there about the first 7 games of the season.
Okay, so Curtis first remind the people what the Mariners' record is right now.
It's 3-4.
3-4, okay. How about 2025?
3-4.
Okay, what about 24?
3-4.
What about 23?
2-5.
Okay, hey, that's better.
Right.
Okay, what about 2022?
3-4.
2021?
They were 3-4.
Now, in 2020, I'm sure it was not 3-4. What was the record in 2020 through 7 games?
They were 3-4.
Okay, so what do we take from this? What does it mean?
This is what they do. It's
so on brand.
It is on brand. You're sticking to the Mariners brand. Now it's about what you do, obviously, later on in the season. But no, listen, I'm looking at Julio. I'm trying to find some stats on Baseball Savant. His bat speed is okay right now. He's making contact with decent pitches. It's not all that bad. You know, the record is that bad. But then you got to look at your opponent. Like, come on, man, you're going against the Yankees. Yankees are one of the best teams in the game, and they have a roster that has a bit more firepower and can come out hot, and then their arms were obviously on point as well. Judge didn't even have a good series, and they're still able to produce the way they have. They're plus 18 right now when it comes to run differential. They're just a good team. They're a team that doesn't need to get rolling. You know, they just hit the block, and it's hot. And so, yeah, I'm keeping it in perspective. Still want to see some things go down, but the fact that Cole Young, Donovan, and Luke are doing some things, it keeps me optimistic.
A great point, Bump, because it's not an excuse to add some context about your opponent. Like, the Yanks are just hotter to start the season than you are right now. It doesn't mean that your season is lost. As Curtis noted, this team has been 3-4 in 9 of the last 10 years, something like that, something crazy that you looked at. So record through 7 games this decade is pretty consistent with where they've been, and we know how last year turned out. I think what we want to do is look at, okay, does this 3-4 feel any different? Is there anything in particular we're watching? Like, for instance, last year they were 3-4 through 7 games, but Cal in many of those first several games had drawn several walks. So it felt like he was seeing the ball better than he has to start the season. Cal last year wasn't in the WBC during spring, missing some pretty key ABs and you know, time to work on certain things. Do I think that's a reason, or at least one? Yeah, I do. I tend to think so. Other things we're looking at. Julio starting slow, what's new? Like, I'm not at all worried that Julio can still hit 30-plus bombs this year. But let's get back to your point about the competition and what could change in this upcoming series. Here's what Dan Wilson said about this game and the series.
Tough one today. I thought, we couple days in a row now, we faced some pretty good starters over there, a couple of good outings, with Fried yesterday, and then Schlittler today I thought had good stuff again and made it tough on us offensively.
And on the homestand as a whole.
Obviously, we've got some adjustments to make offensively, and we will do that. But I think our guys, to see the at-bats that they were putting up, and the adjustments they've made, the work ethic that we've seen around here. I mean, I think that we're in a good spot. Obviously you want to win more games on the opening part of your season here, but feel good about the adjustments we're making and the direction we're heading. And I thought, the pitching was outstanding for us as we got started, and there's a lot of positives we can draw from this homestand, and that's what we'll take on the road with us.
You went back-to-back to start your season against teams that are expected to be in the playoffs, against teams that have some pretty good weapons. Namely, the Yankees' arms are phenomenal to start the year. They completely dominated the Giants before they faced you. Now you're going to take on the Angels in Anaheim. And I mean no disrespect. Far be it from me to be disrespectful. But
you're about to.
I think that there's some opportunity for an offense that's been very up and down, especially down when it comes to those key three players, Naylor, Cal, and Julio. There's an opportunity here, Bump.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a good road trip with the homies. Go hit the California coast and soak in some sun and change the vibe and just get away from things too, man. I know that there's such thing as a home field advantage, a home ballpark advantage, but there's also something to be said when you're on the road and you're playing against a team that's not very good, right? You find your confidence, you find your swagger, and obviously you're not going up against the rotation that the New York Yankees have provided. Even with all that being said, when it comes to pitching, Mariners, 76 K, still top three, 4 quality starts tied for first, 202 on base average, that's sixth. 13, 14 walks, 7 leads. If you just look at the score, you could convince yourself of one thing. But if you dive deeper and get into the weeds and see what's going on, there's a bunch of positives there too. 3-4 is on brand. You played against the Yanks, a great team that hit the ground running. Now this is your turn to try to get yourselves going against a lesser team in the Angels.
253, Cal and Julio's K rates are a concern. Absolutely agree, regardless of pitching staff. Yes, 253, we are, I'm speaking for Bump and Curtis, but I know it's because they'd say so, certainly watching that closely in this upcoming back-to-back series against the Angels and Rangers. I have another texter who said 206, talking about Curtis looking back at those 3-4 starts in several previous seasons, 6-7 seasons. They started 3-4 in all but one. They said, well, the difference is that this team is supposed to be way better than those past teams. Stars are slumping at the beginning again. What say you?
It's hard, man, because Cal has 15 Ks right now, leads the league. Right? Leads the league. But he also got, I've said this 100 times already, 8 ABs at the WBC. His spring was so shortened. And to be a catcher, you got to have a certain personality, right? Catchers, I feel like, are similar to quarterbacks. Their preparation is different. Right? There's a lot more that goes into them getting ready than the average person. Yes, we're talking about hacks and stuff or whatever at the play. Even behind the play, there's been a couple suspect things that Cal has done early. Because I'm like, my man's not in the groove yet. He's not in the flow. When it comes to Julio, he's got 10 Ks, tied for 14th. And then I went back and I looked at his performance during the WBC. I'm like, all right, how good was he during the WBC? He only had like 3 or 4 hits, but he drove in like 4 runs. It wasn't like he was a main contributor there either. So, look, these aren't excuses. These are just realities of their preparation. It was not the same. And this is something that we have to deal with. But it's so dang early. All right, they're 3-4. I'm not too concerned. You got guys at the bottom of the order and the top contributing right now. The arms on the mounds have looked okay. Kirby has hung one over the plate. Yep. It's a process.
I'll say I completely agree with this listener. The expectations this year make watching the early part of the season a slightly different process and a new one for some people. Bump and I have talked about that endlessly, how we're going to be watching the season a little bit differently than we normally would, knowing the expectation. Expectation is you get to and compete for a World Series. That being said, while the offense is struggling in ways that it didn't to start the year last year, even though both records are the same, I would also point to the arms as being a little bit more encouraging. Last year, you didn't even have Kirby to start the year, right? Like, your starters, all but one, went through 6. You got 4 or 5 quality starts, and I would argue like a solid first start from Logan. They combined your starters to give up 6 runs in that first run through of your rotation. So while the offense is leaving something to be desired, and I think it is notable that the 3 guys who are most frustrating also were all 3 in the WBC and missed some really key development time in spring. I also think that your pitching is off to a better start than it was last year. And if you're going to talk about one of the most important ingredients to get to a World Series this year, Bump, it's going to be your pitching.
Yeah, and you already got a good outing from Hancock, too. You know, a guy who you didn't expect to be in the rotation to start, but obviously with Bryce Miller going down, he's got to step in. So, yeah, and can we not forget how Castillo looked? You know, go out there, the old man out there, the Rock, looking solid. So, yeah, man, listen, I understand fans' frustration because we have put expectations on this team. They have put it on themselves because of what they were able to accomplish last year. But it's all right.
Yeah.
You know, these guys, I can almost bet that Cal's going to turn this thing around and look like a little bit like the guy we saw last year. I don't think he's hitting 60. And I can almost guarantee you that Julio is going to do the same thing.
He's going to heat up again.
Julio might be the streakiest player in MLB. He might just be. He goes on like 9-day runs where he's just unstoppable, and then he'll simmer down a little bit.
Yes. Again, I can't stress this enough. On day 2 of last year's season, you gave up 7 runs to the Athletics. That is more runs than you gave up through 5 games to start the season this year. I think that's incredibly encouraging.
Yeah.
And if you said, well, it's only 7 games, it's not even that encouraging. Well, then don't read into the negative this early. like pick and choose. If you want to be concerned about Cal and Julio, and Naylor, I don't blame you at all. I'm a little concerned. I'm going to be watching their strikeout rates closely. But also let yourself feel then encouraged by what we've seen from the starters so far.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be just as important. You'd be in a World Series if your starters were better last year. Fully believe that. You would have won Game 6.
Facts.
You lost Game 6 because, am I remembering this correctly, Curtis? Logan, right, started Game 6 and he in ALCS and he completely fell apart. Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
And then your bullpen also couldn't hang on. Like, you get to a World Series if your rotation is healthier and like even more on top of it last year. I think you should feel good about how they're starting.
You know how you get to a World Series too? If the guys that you don't expect to contribute are contributing.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing so far with young Cole Young. Donovan's a bit different. We expect stuff out of him, but Luke getting on. There's some good stuff going on, man. There are some things that are happening that weren't happening towards the end of the season last year that you mentioned will push you into the next level. So, yeah, man, it's up and down, smiles and frowns. That is baseball, man.
Speaking of those starters, let's take a listen to what George Kirby said about his start.
Yeah, it just stinks. I felt really good that whole game. And, just kind of 2 walks there in the 6th, and then the homer really stinks. So, just got to recommit, find a way to just get back in the zone, and just keep battling.
That was a tough 6th. Walking 2 in 1 inning, which is un-Kirby-like.
Which led right
and then
to
just a meatball over the middle. Do you think that was a frustrated Kirby or just a mistake and a misplacement and a great player getting on top
all
of it?
All the above. Of course he's frustrated. He walks 2, and mentally he's going through something. It's not like he just blanked it out. Frustrated, missed a spot. Was it Rice who went yard? Was it Rice?
In the ninth, in that moment it was Goldschmidt.
Yeah, and he still got a little pop in that bat too.
Yeah,
he's a good hitter.
701 said, not to be a hater, but the Mariners will struggle to make it to the postseason this year. 701, I feel you are being a hater. Like, based on what? Maybe.
The sample
maybe
size.
Not.
Based off the sample size.
There are 26 plus weeks in a baseball regular season.
Well, that ain't me talking. That's him talking.
Yeah.
Or her. Saying based on this sample size,
Yeah.
no good.
Yeah. Again, I'm kind of balancing like I want to be deeply competitive and I want a sense of urgency all the time. So I agree with you. You've already mentioned this. It's like stay above 500, stay above 500, stay above 500. That's the goal of March/April.
Mm-hmm.
Stay above 500. Don't get in a hole. So you know what you need to do? Take this series against the Angels.
It's like getting a third down. Do you expect the Seahawks to be perfect on third downs during the game?
No.
You're just like, man, let's be around like 60%.
Yeah.
Be all right.
Which you would be the best team in the league on third down, by the way, if you were at 60%. That's
Right.
some red zone
Well, let's
stuff.
go 52% then.
You'd be top 5. It'd be fantastic. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Raiders are signing Kirk Cousins, presumably to back up Fernando Mendoza. What's the real headline?
I just know that quarterback dinner is taking place at the Tournament of Kings.
The most wholesome spot in Vegas.
Oh, there's no way that they're not going there. They're going to Tournament of
The
Kings.
Tournament of Kings? What is that?
That's medieval times.
Oh, medieval times.
Medieval times.
I've never heard anyone refer to it as Tournament of Kings.
I call it medieval times, but then I Googled and it said Tournament of Kings.
That's what its name is in Vegas. At Excalibur.
yeah, it's medieval times.
Okay. They switched up the branding, like 10 years
I think
ago or something?
medieval times is the one in L.A.
Oh, okay.
Of course,
okay.
you would know that, Bum.
Yeah.
Hey, that's probably why I call it
Yeah.
medieval
Bump's
times.
going to be like, yeah, that's what it's called, Lakers in 5.
I think medieval times is right across the street from Disneyland too. You imagine going to
That
Disneyland
makes sense.
and then going to medieval times? That's
I've
a
never
heck
been
of
to
a weekend.
Disneyland, but I have been to the Tournament of Kings.
Have you?
Yeah, when I was a child, which is exactly where I expect Fernando Mendoza to go the second he gets to Vegas.
Hey, this is what I think. Start Kirk Cousins. Don't start Mendoza. Because you're not going to win the division. I don't think you're going to be a playoff team. Now, these coaches will have a better idea once again in camp and all that good stuff. But listen, man, you want the softest landing possible for Mendoza. I think Kirk Cousins is a good hire, whether he's a starter or the backup, because, he can come in and play. He's played, 174 games, almost 300 touchdowns. Like, obviously, the experience is there. I'm just thinking of Mendoza's future. If there's any doubt, let Kirk be the guy to start the
Do you
season.
think more quarterbacks would have a better shot at making it if they just got to sit their first season?
Most definitely. Easiest example was Mahomes and Tom Brady, right? They sat for a little bit.
Rodgers, yeah.
Got to
Phillip
watch
Rivers,
Rodgers.
yeah.
Phillip Rivers.
So try that. I understand like Mendoza is going to be number 1 pick, but if there's any doubt, man, let Kirk go out there and get beat up for a little bit, and then let Mendoza go.
No, and then after Kirk gets out there and you're wondering who to start, let them compete in the Tournament of Kings, jousting style. Winner starts the next game.
What was that movie with Heath Ledger where he was a jouster?
Oh, Night Tale.
I used to love that movie.
Oh, one of
that
my-
girl in that movie had the biggest crush on
Beautiful. Yeah, she was like everywhere in like 2000.
her. Yeah,
And I don't even know her name, but she was in every other movie.
yeah.
Shout out millennials who know what we're talking about. That's about
Headline
it.
rewrites.
I believe Shannon Sosaman played Jocelyn in
Yes,
that movie.
and she was in another movie with Josh Hartnett. She was in some other movie. She was like between 99 and 2002 in every movie, and then she just disappeared.
Yeah, last Sinister 2 was the last movie she was in, 2015.
She's so beautiful. As was Heath Ledger.
Headline number 2, Puka Nacua checked himself into rehab in the wake of getting a suit filed against him by a woman claiming he bit her and yelled racist remarks towards her. What's the real headline?
I wish someone would have told first grade me there was rehab for biting people.
Man, I joked a few days ago about Puka giving him second chance and all that stuff. Plains devil advocate. There's one guy who's on my head on the text line. He doesn't need a second chance. I'm like, listen, these are jokes, but this is real. Finally, someone in Puka's corner said, "Hey, bro, you need a PR makeover. We got to send you to go get some help because you can't ignore his activity. Everyone now has cameras, and I've seen a few videos of Puka just looking like he is on a bender, hair all jacked up. He's running around the streets. Like, it's concerning. And the worst part about this for Puka, don't mess up your money because you are right there. You are so close to messing this up. Now they're going to have somebody babysit this dude all season. Be more like Jason.
The only thing I can say about someone actually entering rehab is however you feel about them, like, I hope it works.
Mm-hmm.
You know, however you feel about this person, like, And however you feel about their reasons behind doing it, like anytime anyone enters rehab, all you can say is like, hope it works for them. I really do.
Yeah.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, Jerry Jones wants star receiver George Pickens to negotiate directly with him and not use an agent. What's the real headline?
If only there was recent history of Jerry Jones wanting to negotiate directly with a player and not their agent, but guess we'll never know what happened.
What's his issue with trying to like bully these dudes?
That he's always done it his way, and he's like, why can't you negotiate with me like we did in the 90s?
No, this is the way that 99% of the NFL does it, so emotions are not involved in this whole thing. Your agent is your buffer. Jerry can say things to the agent that he probably shouldn't say to the player when it comes to negotiating contracts, and the agent can do the same with Jerry. This is the perfect way to keep relationships just cool. All right, no one really knows what's said behind these closed doors. You just got to work on a number. Jerry needs to chill, man. This is how business goes in the NFL. It didn't work out with you and Micah. Why do you think it's going to work out with George Pickens, who is a more volatile personality type of dude? All right, Micah seems like a bit more calm, even though he got his moments. George is a guy who got drafted and stood in front of the TV with a tank top on and a ski mask talking about, let's go get it. You don't want to sit down and negotiate with him like that.
What's one of the best draft call moments you guys have seen?
What?
That had to be up there.
Byron Murphy's dad, his fit. Byron Murphy's dad's fit. When I met Byron Murphy for the first time, I said, your dad's fit was on point.
Regarding Jerry Jones and doing this, I think he's someone who is very rarely, if ever, told no. So, of course, he's not going to learn his lesson. I also think this is someone who I would imagine there are some players that play the game, the negotiating game, the way he wants. So he's like, well, this is how it's going to be. This is how we're doing it. And to your point, there are some players that have leverage that he's not expecting.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Jerry seems like someone that would say something like, why would I let the inmates run the prison? Like, you know, people that use that analogy
Was that the
when they talk about
Panthers,
yeah, I can't remember
owner?
who did it, where it was like, ooh,
It was the Panthers dude.
this feels
That was Jerry Richards.
yeah. Like, I don't like this. That also feels very Jerry Jones-esque, where he just wants to do things his way and doesn't understand why you need to include someone else. We're just doing a little negotiating here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, we're talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars, Jerry. But he didn't get to where he is without being kind of a bully.
Best draft call memory I can think of was, I think it was Jordan Davis of the Eagles. His girlfriend was sitting on the outside of his mom and was trying to get in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And his mom, like, stiff arms her, like, you're not married. Like, you don't get to get in this picture yet.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I wonder how that's working out.
Yeah. Well, and then there's Ashton Wilson right next to Russ, just thinking she's hit the lottery.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb's girl trying to snatch his phone.
That's right.
Yeah. Is that when he snatched it back?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
God, just some iconic moments. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, the one way the Seahawks could make this year's first round very interesting.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
I come into this with a lot more confidence. I know who this team is. I know who this management is. I know what they're going to do. Much higher expectations of this team.
Yeah, no question. I just feel like we talked about this during spring training, that there's some question marks, but there's no holes.
There's no excuse not to make the playoffs. Yeah, that's an absolute expectation, not a hope.
Wyman and Bob on the home of the American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a Best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
This April, the Pacific Northwest is All Elite. Experience the action and excitement of All Elite Wrestling live on Wednesday, April 15th. 2 huge shows, one incredible night. AEW presents Dynamite and Collision. As the dust settles after AEW Dynasty, the best wrestlers on the planet return to Everett for the first time in almost 2 years. AEW Dynamite and Collision, live from Angel of the Winds Arena, Wednesday, April 15th. Tickets on sale now starting at just $20 at AEWTIX.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Listen every day to the Bump Stacy Show for headline rewrites. Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services. Security systems and fire alarms for every business. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Spring and summer, it's right around the corner. So if you haven't called PCF about getting started on your new deck, well, right now is the time. With a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long. And right now, you can get up to $6,000 off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Save an additional $1,500 when you bundle your deck and patio cover. Some restrictions do apply, but do what we did. Contact PCF for all the details and start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build by the spring. Planning and permits, they can take a little time, so please don't wait. Get started today. Get project ideas, browse photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
You know what would be fun? Like really fun? If the Seahawks didn't pick at 32 overall. Because, like, I don't know about you guys. It is always exciting to watch your team draft a player, no matter where he's chosen. But, like, you know how long the first round is? It's 16 hours. That's roughly how long. That's a rough estimate. But the first round of the NFL draft feels like 16 hours. It feels like 16 hours. The Seahawks are on the clock at 32. The Seahawks only have 4 picks. So most of us are expecting that they're not even going to pick at 32, that instead they're going to trade back. Now, maybe they trade back and they end up finding a running back somewhere. Daniel Jeremiah was on with Brock and Salk, and they asked him about how important it is to find that running back. He says it's going to be kind of tricky.
The running back thing to me is a little trickier. I think it's a very shallow pool. For me, there's the 2 Notre Dame kids. There's a big drop-off after them. And then, there's some intriguing guys. But I'm curious to see how they evaluate it and where they value, taking a running back. At what point in time they would do that. I don't envision a world 64. I don't really see that as a good marriage with that position. I think they're probably, I wouldn't even be surprised if they took a couple swings on day 3, traded back. If they're able to trade back in 1, get some extra picks, they need more picks. But if they could collect some more picks, even day 3 picks, I could see them attacking the running back position with maybe a couple guys.
Totally, Bump. I think that's what I see. That's what you see is like, yeah, they're going to trade back. They're going to rack up like an extra 6th rounder or 2 6-rounders or something. And then they're going to end up taking a running back with one of those. Boring. Or what if instead of getting a running back on day 3 in a not so exciting running back class, they actually traded up to take the best running back in a not so great running back class and by far one of the most exciting players in this draft? What if the Seahawks traded 32 and next year's first rounder to trade up and get Jeremiah Love? How would you feel about that?
You hear somebody say that, or you just made that up?
I did not just make it up. No, Brock and Salk, in fact.
Or a scenario, not make it up, but create that scenario.
They asked Daniel Jeremiah about it. Here's what DJ said.
I love him. He's my second player, so I'm really way off from the masses on that one. But, man, look, to me, he is in the Bijan, or Bijan, as we're pronouncing it now, the Bijan category. He's in the Jahmyr Gibbs category. Like, he's in that company, which is excellent company. If you're the Seahawks and you're sitting there thinking, okay, it's a 32 this year in a draft that's not great, and we are hoping that we're going to be picking 32 again next year, then if it all worked out that way, heck yeah, I would do that trade just because it puts you right there. And the Rams have been making a push. I'd be scared about the Rams trying to trade up to get him. I mean, that's the one that I keep an eye on. If you're Seattle, you can go up there, get him, address a big need on your roster, get a dynamic player that maybe keeps you ahead of the Rams in the arms race and blocks them from getting them. I mean, I could sell myself on doing that.
I mean, the selling point there for me is that you're hoping the Hawks are in a similar position next year, right? Their chances to repeat are tough, but maybe they do. What if they don't repeat and they just make a run into the playoffs? You're going to be picking around 28, 29, 30 anyway. If you feel like that's going to be your situation and you're only going to have several picks anyway, I'm not mad at this at all. Because with the guys who are there in the room right now, they're just so unproven. They're so unproven. We just don't know. Do that have the potential to be starters? Sure, 1 out of 3 could be one. But you watch Jeremiah Love play football, there's no doubt in your mind that he's going to be, as a rookie, and everyone sleeps on Genty's rookie year. He still had like 900 yards his rookie year, right? He is going to poop on Genty, in my opinion. He's played against better competition and has had more responsibility in that offense. If I'm Mike McDonald and John Snyder, and I think that we can legit make a run at this thing next year, and we're okay with the edges, right? D-Law's going to come back. We're keeping Uchenna. That's the thing, too, is I don't want to give up a whole bunch of picks and not address that position either.
Sure.
Because free agency has already gone through. A lot of the big names are off the board. I'm still concerned about the edges. If you feel like D-Law, Chenna's coming back, go ahead and make this move.
Here's the good news. We'll actually talk about addressing the edges and addressing some other spots coming up in less than 15 minutes. But that comparison to Bijan made my ears perk up because Bijan made my ears perk up because I know that you love Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
And I know that last year you were saying, look, I know that Jonathan Taylor's numbers are crazy. He's leading the league in scoring, and that's really, really exciting. However,
best running back in the league.
Exactly.
Bijan.
You kept saying that. Now, if you are someone, listener, who's confident that the Seahawks will win a Super Bowl, would you trade 2 pick 32s overall for one of the best running backs in the league? I'm not guaranteeing that he's going to become that, but like, if you were to tell me that Bijan Robinson could be plopped into the Seahawks offense, is anyone not taking them as a Super Bowl favorite in 2026? Maybe a contrarian.
I think they're already in the mix, right?
Yeah. And what if they have Bijan Robinson?
Then most people would, I believe. The run game has to be addressed. It has to be replaced because that is what puts your quarterback or makes him feel at ease, in my opinion. If you watch the film, you get the run game going. I think Sam Darnold operates best. I think most quarterbacks operate at their best when the run game is going. Yeah, you go ahead and put that young man in there. And even if you ease him into the situation, right, you have a heavy downhill running back in Emmanuel already. You have kind of a scat back in Kenny Mack. And then you have the pass pro kind of do a little bit of everything in George Halani. You still got some backs that can support Bijan with his – or Bijan, Love if you get him when it's time for him to sit. Yeah, this is a pipe dream, though. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen. And if you're someone who's like, I don't know if it's worth the risk, Daniel Jeremiah might disagree with you.
No, it's a fair point. To me, I just think there's the rare guys, the rare running backs, and I think this kid falls into that category. And I do think there is a difference in how that offense runs when you have like a premier guy. It's going to look different. I mean, I just go back to the Saquon example, and I rate him just below Saquon. But Saquon Barkley's, what he was with the Giants, you can argue against the running back position. Then he goes to a team with a good offensive line, and you're like, this guy's a 2,000-yard rusher and leads a team to a Super Bowl. That's the type of impact you can get. So that's where I could say this kid is, he's in the right company of backs.
2 first-rounders when you're picking at 32 this year isn't enough to move up and pick Love, says the 425. Yes, I think you'll need to include something else. I don't think it would have to be like 3 first-rounders, but I think you would have to make that deal a little bit richer because while the Jets are not expected to take him, he's expected to go with the Titans. Are they at 3 or 4? I can't completely remember. He's not expected to make it out of 5, so you'd have to find a way to get into the top 5.
Titans at 4, Arizona at 3.
So you need to find out how to get it to 3 or how to get to 4, how to entice the Titans out of making that pick.
The tough one at 3, too, is you got James Conner over there with the Arizona Cardinals. Why wouldn't they be looking at a guy like Love as well? You would have to strike them a deal. And
the Cardinals,
in the
they
same
just
division.
added Tyler Algier.
Oh, you're right. But 2's better than 1.
And they're rebuilding.
And Connor's been banged up to the last couple years as well. I can see the Cardinals looking at Love and
if I'm rebuilding, the Cardinals clearly are going with Jacoby Brissett as their starter.
You get Ty Simpson?
I'll take no. I'm going to take a really intriguing player, or I'm going to take those 2 firsts. Pick up an extra first and like a second from you or whatever it is you're going to give me, and I'm going to keep building. I'm not going to. Why would I take one of the most rapidly depreciating assets in football and a running back when I just signed Tyler Algier?
Because 2's better than 1. Because Connor's been hurt. Connor's like 10th year in the league now. He ain't no spring chicken no more.
They're not turning to Connor though.
2's better than 1. What's the trend in the NFL right now?
Committee.
Right.
Approach.
So help the committee. I'm not mad at your approach, but I'm also looking at, all right, if we want to be semi-competitive with Jacoby Brissett back there, what do you do to help your quarterback?
Yeah.
Get him a dope run game. Their defense has been they got okay pieces on the defense.
Yeah.
But their offense is probably better than their defense. So I would enhance the offense and say, let's go for shootouts.
Now, I think it will be exceptionally difficult to get ahead of the Titans, who are widely expected to take Jeremiah Love.
Titans should do everything they could to get Jeremiah Love.
Exactly. And they are in a place where even though they were clearly not a good team last year, they have this young quarterback you're trying to build up. The entire point is you want to start getting that core group together now. I think that I like this conversation because it looks at like, well, what's one way to make the Seahawks elite, even more elite?
If I'm Arizona, I'm putting out there that we're going for Love, and I'm making the Titans have to move up and give me something.
If you're Arizona?
Yeah. I'm putting it out there. We're going for Love.
Yeah.
We want to draft Love. So now
Well,
Titans.
maybe the Titans call your bluff.
Now Titans, what you want to do? Titans, what you want to do? I mean, you could. It's poker, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's poker.
I love this conversation. I don't. The realisticness of it, I think, is up in the air. But I love the idea of, would you be willing to get incredibly aggressive to to go all in on doing everything you can to win a Super Bowl this year. And I say all in, knowing that if you took Jeremiah Love, he's not going anywhere. He's still, you know what I mean? Like, you'll have him in 2027 on his rookie deal. And he's supposed to be really, really exciting. Oh, and for everyone who wants to look at the draft to address your running back problem, it goes flat pretty quickly behind Jeremiah Love. So, Mel Kiper has a 3-round mock. We have a few other picks the Seahawks could be taking. That's coming up next.
After coming up short in their last 2 games against the Yankees.
Paul Goldschmidt, 3-run home run.
The Yankees. The Mariners hit the road for the first time in the new season. Up first, the start of a 3-game series against the Angels in Anaheim. Tomorrow night, can Brian Wu pitch the Mariners to a win? First pitch at 6:38. Pre-game at 6. You only need one app to catch every pitch of every game, all for free. The Seattle Sports app.
ARC is revolutionizing the boating industry. Let me tell you how. It's like driving a luxury EV on the water. A team of industry experts and engineers have constructed the ARC Sport, a fully electric wake boat, to be easy to operate and easy to own. It has 500 horsepower, 0 emission, and custom software created by a team of engineers behind top EVs that lets you access multiple video feeds, depth information, which was very cool to see, surf settings, and more on touchscreen displays. Very fancy. It's software that gets better with time, not worse. The ARC Sport sends tens of thousands of data points every second back to HQ so it can keep improving performance before you ever notice an issue. Think about this. No noise, no fumes, just good times. And it's not just for sport. A luxurious interior, dual thrusters, a retractable hardtop tower, and fully heated seats, which is great for someone like me who's constantly complaining about how cold I am. I'm very sorry to bump in Curtis, but it does happen. You guys will admit it. Keep wake surfing thrilling and effortless with the new wave of boating. Go to arcboats.com/demo to book your demo of the ARC Sport. It's so easy. That's arcboats.com/demo.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Okay, so I don't know if anyone was really sold on the Seahawks trading 2 first-rounders to get Daniel Jeremiah in this year's draft. I'll try a different approach here. Okay, what if instead you keep pick 32 and you stay mostly where you are and you go on to address some other areas of need? I think some people might be a little more interested in this approach. So, Bump,
probably.
I'm going to ask you what you think about a couple of these position groups. Mel Kiper's 3-round mock has the Seahawks taking Mason Thomas.
R. Mason Thomas.
Excuse me.
Like C. Thomas Howell.
Oh, I missed the R there.
Yeah.
R. Mason Thomas at 32 overall, so addressing their edge out of Oklahoma. At 64, Keontae Scott, cornerback out of Miami. And then at 96, and these are Field Yates picks, Mike Washington Jr., running back out of Arkansas. So you are addressing in that place 3 position groups that left you in free agency. How do you feel about that move?
Really good about it.
Doesn't have to be those specific players, but.
No, really good about it. Just this is the tricky part. The way we're viewing it right now is position of need and not best available player, which is so hard to do right now because we don't know how the draft is going to go. So naturally, when people are plugging these mock drafts in, they're going to go a position of need first. Mm-hmm. But we're seeing that John has trying to deviate from that. He said it himself. We got caught up by going at position of need and not the best player. But in some drafts, it just so happened that Charles Cross was a need and it was the best available player. With Witherspoon, that's kind of where they walked away from, okay, what do we actually need and getting best available. At number 20 with JSN, I think it was a little bit of both, too. Like, we're getting ready for DK to probably get out of here. Mm-hmm. Tyler Lockett is getting long in the tooth. And this is the best player available. We're going to go JSN. So this draft is going to be interesting to me because what's their approach really going to be? And we're still waiting to see what Uchenna and D-Law are going to do. But this right here makes complete sense. Mason is a beast, man. He rushes off the edge, has great bend. I was just watching film on him yesterday. Dude's an animal. So as far as what we actually need or what the Hawks actually need, this makes complete sense.
I want to focus on that first part for just a second. Earlier in the week, actually late last week, I asked you about a bunch of I looked at a bunch of mocks, like 7 or 8, and the majority of them had mocked a cornerback, one of 2, Colton Hood or Avion Terrell, to Seattle. and I said, hey, do you think corner is an underrated area of need? Do you think that's the case for edge? Because I have not seen edge mocked nearly as enough. I don't know if that's a product of the class and the kind of where talent pools are and cliffs are in this draft. But I've not seen edge mocked nearly as much. And I don't think people talk as much about, like, the loss of Boye Mafe, for instance.
No.
Because that defensive line was so good. They're like, okay. But is that an underrated area of need for Seattle?
I think it is, because Uchenna's going to cost a lot of money next year. See what they do there. D-Law has just had the greatest ending to a man's career, if he wants to go out that way. Had a baby, left the Cowboys, won a Super Bowl. Like, the story is written for D-Law if he wants to go right now. So that's what concerns me, is that he's probably having conversations with his wife and his agent, like, what else do I need to do? I've done everything. So now after that, you have Derek Hall, Connor O'Toole, Jamarcus Weston. Sorry, I'm not familiar with your game. This is why I feel like the edge isn't being talked about enough. We do know that this draft is a heavy edge draft. There's going to be some talent in there as well. So, yes, I think that people who are putting together these mocks and putting these scenarios together aren't looking at the fact that D-Law could retire and Uchenna could be a cost cut.
Apparently, I accidentally said I was playing sound from Daniel Jeremiah on trading up to get Jeremiah Love, and apparently I said trade up to get Daniel Jeremiah. Oops. However, I do want to talk about running backs. This does not involve trading up to get a running back, but it does involve taking a running back at pick 96, so waiting to take that running back and addressing that group in the draft. Your comfort level with not adding in free agency anymore, with not making a trade, with not trading up, but with adding a running back late.
Well, this ain't 2025 where the running back pool was deep. This is something different. If they wait until 96 to get a running back, so be it. But that also tells me that they think maybe a corner at edge is more important, and that they probably have a guy that they want to be the starter in camp already or on their team already. Me personally, I would want them to be as aggressive as possible at that running back spot. If they feel like, I'm going to say again, D-Law and Uchenna are going to be here because you want depth at that position. Still got Derek Hall. But, no, this one isn't. This one is kind of like a whatever. Like, I'll trust your evaluation when it comes to this, because this draft isn't very deep with running backs. I do like the personality or the style of running backs that you do have right now. I don't think you have the starter, the guy who's going to touch the ball 20, 25 times, but I might be wrong. So with that pick, I would just have to trust their judgment and say that they believe in what's already on their roster.
I'll say this. If Seattle does not find that guy, can they get back to a Super Bowl?
If they don't find their running back.
Then no.
I don't think so. No.
Pretty important to find that guy.
It is.
Now, if you're someone like Bump said who has full faith that they can find that committee and that they've got that committee, then great. But I can't underscore how important it is to continue to find those answers there. So I think that's the position group I am most curious about, knowing that edge is kind of underrated, corner kind of underrated there. I'm most curious to see what that running back room looks like, because it's so central to what they want to do offensively. I know it's the JSN show. He just got the massive contract. They kept Rashid Shaheed. You want to incorporate him more in the offense. All of that's true. But don't overlook Ken Walker's massive contributions through the playoffs. 300-plus yards in 3 games.
Remind folks, third or fourth in the league the past 2 seasons when it comes to explosive runs.
Yeah.
My man will bust off a 20-yard run like it's nothing.
By far the position group I'm most fascinated by.
Yeah.
Let's jump to the Mariners here. Speaking of the Mariners, don't forget to download the Seattle Sports app if you haven't already. It's every game, one app, completely free. Take the game with you on the go if you're out running errands, at practice, on a hike, on the boat, wherever. The Seattle Sports app travels with you so you can enjoy every pitch of Rick Rizz's final season, all in one place at no cost. Did I mention it's free? It's the easiest way to enjoy Mariners baseball. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Ryan Roland-Smith joins us next.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
I come into this with a lot more confidence. I know who this team is. I know who this management is. I know what they're going to do. Much higher expectations of this team.
Yeah, no question. I just feel like we talked about this during spring training, that there's some question marks, but there's no holes.
There's no excuse not to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's an absolute expectation, not a hope.
Wyman and Bob on the home of the American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? But do you have a room just sitting empty and you've dreamt of making it your own home gym? Hey, Brock Heward here, and working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years, and you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do the rest. A complete fitness room design. It's no secret why everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have everything from flooring to weights that go in a home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months, plus mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here to get you in the best shape, so go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Got neighbors? Big Trees can help. This is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. If you've been considering planting trees to add privacy, look no further than Big Trees. Privacy trees fill in empty spaces, help to define property lines, and add curb appeal. Learn more about Big Trees' big supply of privacy trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
We've all been there, sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
Seattle Sports has your last shot to participate in the madness. Head to seattlesports.com/win to fill out your 4-team bracket. It's one final chance to join in on the Seattle Sports Bracket Bucks, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. And the winner of the 4-team competition will win a $250 Visa gift card. Register and find complete rules at seattlesports.com/win. Seattle Sports Bracket Bucks, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Your reputation matters. That's why so many landscape professionals choose Gravely. You can save up to 20% on Gravely commercial mowers during the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event, starting April 9th. Visit your local Gravely dealer today.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's Refractive Lens Exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top: you never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO, ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their series finale yesterday to the Yankees 5-3. They have an off day today before hitting the road for a series against the Angels beginning tomorrow evening at 6:38 in Anaheim. Elsewhere in MLB, the Pirates are calling up 19-year-old shortstop Connor Griffin, the #1 prospect in baseball, for their home opener tomorrow.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Mariners broadcaster Ryan Rowland-Smith joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Ryan, how's it going?
Good. Hey, good to chat to you guys.
We are happy to have you. And here's the trick of 1 week down, 25 or so to go, is you naturally, as a sports fan, as a baseball fan, want to know more about your team. So you're trying to figure out what to read into. On the other hand, most of it you can't at all. So I'll start with just to kind of like pick and choose. Ryan, when you're looking at the first week of the season, only the first, 5, 6, 7 games, what's something that you are genuinely tracking, either concerned about or interested in or should be encouraging, and then something that you're like, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter at all right now.
Yeah, it's a tough one, and it's especially tough too when you get through those first two, series of the week, and you're still in the it's early phase for some of these hitters because, let's face it, you've got back-to-back hitters who just are still trying to find some kind of consistency. And Cal, big hit a couple nights ago, came through last night against Bednar, which was great. And Naylor's starting to hit the ball hard. He's not swing and miss is way down, which is great. He's starting to square balls up. He's super aggressive, which I'm surprised about. And then Julio, it's again, swing and miss isn't bad. Again, hitting the ball well, just trying to find some rhythm. And it's tough, but you kind of hit the road for the first time as a player, and you're like, well, you had that time to sort of check in on yourself after the whole opening day and opening weekend, so it gets in the rearview mirror. So I'm looking at that. And then on top of that, too, in regards to the pitching, look, Logan Gilbert, I said this last year, too, even before his injury, there is times where he just falls out of rhythm a little bit mechanically, and that's what we saw in that second start. And then George Kirby, I think that the 3-2 walk, the changeup he missed to Ben Rice, I think he was anchoring on that. It's a changeup that he's starting to throw in higher leverage counts, and he ended up giving up the home run to Goldschmidt on just like a really, a pitch that just kind of hung out there in the middle of the plate. So I'm looking at all this stuff here. And so to answer your question, I think this team, there's so many good elements. Pitching is going to be the foundation, not like last year. Last year, pitching wasn't the foundation. It was the offense, even from April, May to get out of the gates, and even from the trade deadline, adding the offense. The pitching is going to be what's going to carry this team. Because offensively it's going to be inconsistent. And there's still so much to like about the pitching. I just think there's these little inconsistencies that you can still chalk up to, yes, it's still early.
What have you liked about the pitching so far?
Well, I think that stuff-wise, put it this way, first of all, I like the health part of it. That's really important, man. If you can have a situation where you're not dealing with one of the 5 guys, and I know Bryce Miller's missing, but Emerson Hancock was so good. But if you've got a situation where, put it this way, last year it took to the end of the year until all 5 starters that came into the season that you're anticipating to have at the beginning of spring training, all 5 are in the same rotation at the same time. Well, I still haven't had that this year, but I love how the way Emerson looks. I just look at it and say, well, if you can have a situation where you've got George Kirby, who's the fastball velocity was way more consistent last night for him. You've got Logan Gilbert, who, again, he's going to be fine. Like I said, he's a little bit out of rhythm. Luis Castillo looked great. I think there's just so much to like there from the starting pitching standpoint. I think the injury bug is not going to hit him like it did last year. And then the bullpen, too. Look, there's still some question marks in the bullpen. They're really slow playing Munoz and Matt Brash in these first couple of weeks, which is fine. I think that pitching-wise, it's just like kind of very similar like the Yankees that they had. I just think the pitching is going to be really consistent, more depth in the bullpen, and you're going to have more health, simply put, this season, I think, with this rotation than you did last year.
What should be encouraging signs when it comes to specifically Julio and Cal at the plate?
I think, well, first of all, they're kind of different. First of all, Cal's the last one, I think, out of the three, right? So Cal, Julio, and Josh Naylor. Yeah, so first of all, Julio, encouraging. The swing and miss is not that bad. When you really look it back, and I can watch pretty much every pitch, like I can just pull every pitch up together on my computer, and there's not a whole lot of chase, swing and miss, and there's some pretty hard contact in there. Mm-hmm. Josh Naylor, it's not like he's just missing pitches. He's just off balance, man. Like he's just kind of rolling over pitches that he caught out in front. But the one guy, with Cal, I'm just kind of waiting for, is he going to get to that heater? Right now, his swing and miss rate on fastballs, anything 94 miles per hour and up, is around 90% swing and miss. Which, look, it's something he'll correct. I spoke to you guys when you guys were walking through the stadium yesterday, just about the WBC. Those guys are going to be a couple of weeks behind, I think. And so, we say all that, and then I've just spent the last 5 or 10 minutes focusing on those three when you've got a situation where Cole Young has the lowest swing and miss rate on 95 plus miles per hour, which is great. You've got Luke Raley, who's hitting balls to warning track to left field with 2 strikes. Dominic Canzone staying on pitches. So you got some of that stuff too, which adds so much depth to the lineup. Now, I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, that's great. And that's not going to get you to where you want to get to offensively. The middle of the lineup is going to be the key here, obviously, with the 3 bats. And history shows that they're going to be okay. It's just a matter of, how quickly can you figure this out? Because you don't want a situation where you get 3 weeks into a season and you're behind the Astros and you're a little frustrated. Then you're starting to feel the burden of the expectations that were put so heavily on the shoulders of some of these guys. So you want to try and get that correction. They've got an off day before they play the Angels. You want to try and get that corrected, get a little bit more consistency against certain pitches for each of them, and then and turn this thing around a little faster because, again, man, 3 weeks can come at you quick, and you're hitting 200 with no homers can really hurt.
Hey, Ryan, sometimes when I see young guys have success early, in my mind, I think they're just out there, just mind is free, right? Low expectations because, you're relying on the other big dogs to get it done. What do you see out of Cole Young? How has he been able to have success so much early or so early in the season?
Well, I think for him it's a little like I thought it was going to be opposite. I thought he was going to have not that Colt Emerson's going to play second base, but when Colt gets up there and JP comes back, it just gets very crowded in that infield because what happens is when Colt Emerson comes up, well, now because of that deal, and he slides to third base like Jerry DiPoto, hinted at, and you hear that news, man. I mean, as a player, you hear that. You're like, oh, okay, now Colt's going to play third. Well, guess where Brendan Donovan's primarily going to play then? Second. So you look at that and go, oh, man, it's coming. And so you put more expectations on your shoulders. So coming into the season, I was sitting there going, in the back of my mind thinking, okay, Cole, can you show these hitting coaches and this front office that you can handle fastballs, which you couldn't do last year? Can you handle lefties because you're going to play every day? And then, like I said, man, the most damage he's done is against plus fastballs. And, he's done some really good damage. So I'm looking at that going, man, well, that speaks volumes. Not to mention, too, he's not playing tight at second base. He's free and loose at second base. And so I'm thinking of this going, man, maybe this is a kid who rises to some of the competition, not who he's playing against, but who he's playing around, and knowing that it's going to get really, really crowded very soon, which is, like I said, a great sign to see. And then again with Dominic you mentioned someone playing loose. I think Dominic Canzone's playing loose because he's he's actually got some sort of identity on this team now. You know, you go back a year ago with Dom Canzone, he wasn't even on the map. I mean, he was kind of pushed aside. Victor Robles had that extension. He signed to stick around and play right field. You had Luke Raley obviously crowding stuff up as well. And so Canzone, as I say, go to AAA, came up for like a week, pressed, back down, and then made this swing resurrection, came up in the second half and just went off. So I think he's playing really loose right now. I think Luke Raley's rising to some of the expectations and the pressure, knowing that he's got a short leash as well. And so I look at that and think, well, you know, that's to me, it's a great sign, especially Cole Young. I'm so impressed from what I've seen from him these first couple of games.
Respectfully to Anaheim, are there some opportunities for this offense to get a bit hotter and get into the swing of things, no pun intended, against the Angels in California compared to against the Yankees and that pitching staff here in Seattle?
Yeah, respectfully, I'm going to say yes.
We're going to keep prefacing respectfully.
Well, yeah, because, man, like, again, you just ran into, and especially these last couple of games, you're struggling, you're trying to get in rhythm, and then you run into a Max Fried who can get you out in multiple ways. We saw that. And you faced him before. You know what he's bringing to the table. And then you've got Cam Schlittler who, yeah, he can make some misses middle of the plate, but that fastball, man, I've talked to some guys around baseball who just said that his fastball is just different. It's, you know, look, it's 97, but it just gets on you so quick, and he just crowds you all day long with that pitch, and you know it's coming. It's just a really tough pitch to catch up to. So, yeah, you do have that. Now, I haven't even looked at the pitching matchups in Anaheim, but just to Bump's point, you don't want to run into either be young guys or guys who have nothing to lose. And the Angels, look, they've put up some big runs, man. They put up some big totals these first couple of games. They're playing pretty well. So they're playing loose. You don't want to walk into something where it's like you're rolling into a team who's playing well above expectations. However, pitching-wise, I just think you're going to get a couple gaps there in at-bat number 3 from the bullpen or, you know, at-bat number 4, whatever it may be.
You talk about, I don't want to say his name wrong because it would turn to a bad name, Schlitzler. He talked about...
Hey, by the way, Bump, too, he's got on his belt the Schlitz Show, and we couldn't say that on air. I was like, man, I really want to say that, but I don't.
That sounds, yeah, that's a great nickname. That's a good one. He got to get that tatted on him somewhere. But
I don't know about that.
Speaking of him and knowing that he's going to throw you a fastball, how frustrating is that as a batter, knowing what you're going to get, but feeling like you can do nothing about it?
Well, it's hard because it's some of the variations too. So, like, he's unique in the sense of, yeah, he's throwing upper 90s with the four seam, but then it also has the one with he has two other variations with movement. One has sink and the other one has cut. And the cut fastball is not one. And now, actually, I'll take that back. Last night, there was a couple where it was, 93s, but when he's in peak form and you're watching that video before the game, that cut fastball is, like, when he's throwing 97, cutter is 95. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's so tough. And that's what separates his fastball, in my opinion, because you've got to respect that pitch. When he lands one or two early in that bat, he did one to he threw out to Dom Canzone, and he straight away, like, you're wondering why is he chasing that fastball up and away? Why? Because that fastball, just the reaction time becomes so much less because you are having to protect against three pitches that you just cannot pick up until really late. And it's all three fastballs, sinker, four seam, and cutter, and they all look the same. And that's what makes it so tough as a hitter.
Looking at the bullpen a bit more here, I was eager to see Ferrer, a couple other pieces, and I know, again, it's so limited with what we've seen, but how are you feeling about that group so far?
Yeah, good. I'm still – we haven't really seen Munoz a whole lot. Brash, haven't seen him a whole lot. I'm curious as to – at what point is going to be where, okay, you've got a 6 months worth of Brash back-to-back, day off pitch again, a 6 months worth of Munoz where you can, not have to have the 2 days off. I'm not saying that's what's written, set in stone, but it's kind of, Dan Wilson on Sunday really alluded to that before a game. Was talking to him. He said, well, Munoz is definitely down. And the way he was kind of projecting what he was saying was that they are making a conscious effort with those guys. Beyond that, look, Cole Wilcox, happy for him, man. I mean, what an opportunity he has. And then Gabe Spire, I still think Gabe's still trying to find that command. Gabe Spire lives on strike percentage, and he lives on being in 0-2 in every count. And he also, lives on that fastball command too. He hasn't quite found that just yet, and it's noticeable. He's going to be thrown to righties and lefties. He's going to be thrown 7th, 8th inning as more of a setup as opposed to lefty pockets. And so you want to see him get dialed in because we've seen two versions of Gabe Spire. We've seen the breakout back in 23. They're not so good in 24 because command. 25, he got back to that breakout status. So we've seen kind of the two different versions of Gabe Spire in a Mariners uniform. And then beyond that too, Jose Ferrer. I think Jose Ferrer is this project that they brought over. Look, he throws 100 miles an hour with sink on a four seam. He has to find some swing and miss. And I think that's something that they're working hard right now to say, all right, you change up, generate swing and miss, but that hitter of yours, that 100, we're going to find ways to get away from soft contact on the ground because that's a weapon, but let's separate the two and let's find one that keeps the ball out of play. And I think that's going to eventually come. You can see him starting to throw the different parts of the strike zone than what he did last year because they're on him about, hey, look, let's generate something where we can get swing and miss on this pitch. So I think it's good. I think Ferrer is going to be a bigger weapon than you think once it's all said and done. There's a couple of young guys getting some opportunities as well. And then you've got Brash and Munoz that I think at some point will be getting more of the heavy lifting.
Mariners have the day off today and then take on the Angels in Anaheim tomorrow, 6:38 p.m. first pitch. He is Mariners broadcaster Ryan Rowland-Smith. Talk to you next week, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, guys.
See ya. Hey, speaking of Mariners games, don't forget to download the Seattle Sports app. Every game, one app, completely free. You can take the game with you on the go, out running errands, at Little League practice, on a hike, on the boat, wherever. The Seattle Sports app travels with you, so you can enjoy every pitch of Rick Rizz's final season all in one place at no cost. Did I mention it's free? It's the easiest way to enjoy Mariners baseball. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Bump. Tell us about a hopeful draft pick, Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame.
Running back out of Notre Dame, was backing up Jeremiah Love. Best 1-2 combo in college football, by far. 5'11", 209. He only had 674 yards, obviously, because he's playing behind Love. 11 touchdowns, 6 yards per clip. He also had 2 kickoffs to the house. This dude is an elite make-you-miss type of guy, but he will run you over at the same time, and he has breakaway speed. Runs a 58, 40, and 32. You watch the film on this dude, he will press to the line of scrimmage, things that people were asking K9 to do more consistently, and then if it's not there, he'll bounce it outside. And once he gets to that sideline, throw up the deuces, it is a wrap. He's a versatile running back. Obviously, Love is better, but this guy can do it all, and he's good in the kick return game. If he's there at 32, go ahead and take him. I don't expect him to be, though.
Second down. Who's a prospect at corner that you like?
No one's really talking about this guy, man. I have to dig him up and find him. His name is Chris Johnson. He's out of San Diego State. He's a corner, 6 foot, 193.
CJ2K?
CJ2K, kind of. Mountain West, co-defensive player of the year, second team All-American, yet I bet most of you guys have never heard of this dude. 4 interceptions and 2 touchdowns, and he's great in zone. All of his interceptions this year were in zone. He's good at passing routes off, recognizing combinations, flying down to the football, and he plays with that Devin Witherspoon chip on his shoulder. You watch him after a play, he's barking, he's talking, he's going to let you know. His eyes are great. 2 picks to the house. Chris Johnson out of San Diego State is a guy that you should be looking at. Just go look at his highlights, man. He's smooth with his back pedal. He's smooth at passing routes off. He's violent getting downhill. He plays bigger than what his size says. They say 6'1", 193. Nah, man. Nah, he more like 5'10", 185.
That's especially Devin Witherspoon-y.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I'd never know.
But you got to have that chip on your shoulder when you're that size. So Chris Johnson, San Diego State, second team All-American, and ain't nobody talking about him.
Do you know how cool you're going to feel if they take Jadarian Price and Chris Johnson?
Man, like a G.
It's going to be like the DS Rich call
Right.
out.
I need one.
Third down. What's something innovative from the new professional flag league?
Yeah, I kind of like this. One, I just found out that they're going to have a professional flag league, and the NFL is backing it. The NFL gave this league $32 million, and then they raised $160 million. They're trying to make this thing profitable. I think this could be more profitable than the UFL, just because of venue cost and all that good stuff. But what they're doing or talking about is having a traveling venue, like something you can just pop up somewhere and fill it in with people and then move on to the next city. I think that's probably the best way to go about this whole thing, because you don't want to have to rent out a full stadium, a big stadium, and only have 2,000 people be there. Or you still have to pay that rental cost. And, maybe NFL stadiums might give it to you at a discount, but then again, they want to be profitable too. So I think the fact that they're exploring the idea of having kind of like a pop-up type of stadium, I think it's cool, because to start, you're only going to have a few thousand people there. And if you pack them in close, it's going to feel more grand than being in a stadium where you hear echoes and everyone's talking and stuff. Like you kind of get at some UFL spots. So NFL is supporting this league, and I think it has a chance to be more successful than the UFL league, just because of things like this.
4th down. What appeal do you feel will not amount to anything, yet might have some legs?
So remember when, what's his name, Pablo Torre dropped the collusion type deal? Was that a few years ago? And a judge overruled, and now the NFLPA, they're trying to appeal. But NFL experts or executives feel like this appeal isn't going to go through. But the situation is clear, right? They're going back to in 2022 when Deshaun Watson got that 5-year guaranteed contract, and all the owners are tripping. The NFLPA is saying that the NFL encouraged the owners to get together and collude so this never happens again, right? Remember we talked about that with Lamar as well. Clearly, these guys are having conversations about this.
Yeah.
There's no way they're in this hotel in the Bahamas somewhere where there's no cameras, no media really around, and they're not in someone's suite talking about how this cannot happen again because it puts pressure on other owners. It's impossible for them not to talk about this. But what evidence do you really have? We can set it all up and dress it up, but you got to have some evidence. So they're going to appeal it, and I'm hoping that they got somebody to snitch or something like that. They got a key witness that they can bring to the stand and kind of get this thing going. But unless you have audio, video, or someone who will testify against the NFL, I don't think nothing's going to go through. But I can clearly see a situation where the owners got together after the Deshaun deal and said, we got to make sure this doesn't happen again.
I think collusion is one of those things that we all just assume happens by virtue of these guys being at meetings together, being a very small circle of billionaires,
right.
Also a smaller circle within that circle of billionaires who all own NFL teams. Yeah, Jimmy Haslam really put on the spot with that one.
Yeah.
And it certainly doesn't help that Deshaun then was really horrible. So it's easy.
Hurt.
Exactly. So now if you're another player, Lamar, who wants a fully guaranteed contract, you go, I give you way more than this guy does, right? This guy got fully guaranteed.
And on the other side, they're going to be like, well, last time we gave up that much money, he kept getting hurt and couldn't stay out of trouble. And
yeah,
that's on the Browns, man. The Browns jacked it up for everybody. Because imagine if a guy like Lamar Jackson got that deal, or a guy like Josh Allen, a guy who is going to be consistent every year, get you to the conference championship. Then it's setting it up for these other quarterbacks or players to get that type of money. But since you gave it to Deshaun, and my man has just been irrelevant, it's tough.
Is there a worse trade in NFL history? There have been horrible, horrible trades. But I think that trade combined, because more draft picks have given up in other trades, but I think that trade combined with the guaranteed contract that you gave him.
It's the worst.
Combined with the complete lack of play that he's given you.
It might be the worst in American sports history.
That has to be it. It's up there.
Yeah.
That's a good segment. Noting that. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, Kalen DeBoer had a real pot meet kettle moment.
After coming up short in their last 2 games against the Yankees.
Paul Goldschmidt, 3-run home run.
The Yankees. The Mariners hit the road for the first time in the new season. Up first, the start of a 3-game series against the Angels in Anaheim. Tomorrow night, can Brian Wu pitch the Mariners to a win? First pitch at 6:38. Pre-game at 6. You only need one app to catch every pitch of every game, all for free. The Seattle Sports app.
When I go to a dealership, I don't want to be pushed into buying something. Sometimes I just want to look around, test drive, check out new features. When I went to Wayscar Ford in Auburn, they got that. There was no pressure. It actually turned out to be a really fun experience because they were genuinely excited to show me the cool features on newer models. They only want to sell you a car if you want to buy one. And the thing I want most is to be able to trust the person I'm working with. A new car is a huge investment. I have to be honest, I don't know a ton about cars. It's the second largest thing next to a house that most people will ever buy. So yeah, I want to make sure I'm buying from a reputable place. I want a warranty. I want to make sure I'm covered if for any reason I change my mind. Wayscar Ford has that. A 5-day or 500-mile, no questions asked, 100% money-back guarantee. There's a reason they've been in Auburn for 104 years. Go see them. Wayscar Ford in Auburn. That's wayscarford.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Visit America's Car Museum now, where history roars to life. If you loved Ford versus Ferrari, see Shelby Cobras and GT40s in the birth of the American supercar. Cruise-ins, drive-ins, race simulators, fun for all ages. Plan today at americascarmuseum.org.
If you've gained 20, 30, or even 40 or more pounds over the past few years and nothing seems to work anymore, listen up. I'm Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and our completely medication-free program has helped thousands in Washington lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days. No drugs, no weekly shots, no muscle loss, no side effects, no forever monthly costs, just food, but the right type, in the right amount at the right time. All part of a detailed plan with expert coaching every step of the way that helps you reset your metabolism and burn fat. Schedule your free phone consult at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Yeah, Mike Salk here, and Dr. Coogan is right. I can attest to losing 35 pounds with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. It works. It's safer, less expensive than alternatives, with no injections or pills, and no scary side effects. Schedule a free consult and find out for yourself.
Over 4,000 people have lost 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 60 days. Come to our clinic in Kirkland or do our program from anywhere you live with our remote options. Schedule your free phone consult online at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's radio to 64,000.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Meet the company electrifying the marine industry. ARC, a fully electric boat that feels like a luxury EV. Significantly less maintenance and service, ARC is built to be as easy to operate as it is to maintain. Featuring heated seats and seatbacks, a large display, easy handling, and impressive kick. You have to see it and experience ARC for yourself. Book a demo. They'll pick you up on Lake Washington, Lake Union, or Lake Sammamish if you can't come to them in Kirkland. Go to arcboats.com/demo. ARC. You have to see it to believe it.
Spring is a season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Hi,
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Kalen DeBoer talked about, and I agree with Curtis that initially it looks like it's going to be like an April Fool's thing. He talked about whether or not he knew, this is on 3, whether or not Michigan had intense interest in him and hiring him. And he said, quote, "I would have had to be living under a rock not to know. I'm not naive. I never talked to anyone, not one time. I just don't know how you could live with yourself and look into your players' eyes if you're looking at other opportunities in the midst of the season and getting ready for a playoff game, hopefully making a run at a national championship." So that was with On 3's Chris Lowe. Once again, this was published yesterday, so fairly.
Yeah, kind of an inauspicious time to.
Yeah, especially given that Kalen, while I think that sentiment is great.
While we have you here, Kalen.
Yeah, while we have you here, Kalen. Bump, I think that sentiment is great. I'd have to be living under a rock not to know. I'm not naive. Funny way to open it. And then saying, like, I don't know how you look your players in the eyes when you're trying to compete for a national championship, when you're getting ready for a playoff game and you're, also getting ready to go. Great. That's what Bama players and fans want to hear. Quick question, QQ, if I may, Kalen. Is that not exactly what you did with Washington?
It's kind of exactly it, right?
That's actually exactly what you did with Washington.
All right, well, let me get in his head. He was like, well, maybe I didn't think our team was going to win a national championship, so it's different.
You knew that you were the number 2 team in the country?
No, it's bullcorn is what it is.
You were higher rated than you were with Bama this year.
It's bullcorn. But he has to say those things. This is what yesterday I said. Coaches lie all the time.
All the time.
This is what they do.
And all the time, coaches lie.
Yes. Whatever benefits the mental of their university, their organization, their players, they are going to say it in the public, and in private, they'll have more honest conversations. This is it's funny, but it don't surprise me.
It was the most pot meat kettle moment I've ever, and not even like criticizing someone else for doing the same, because he's not like calling out Lane Kiffin per se. But it's almost like himself, where Kalen, you took that Bama job. You had been talking to Bama. It was very clear what was happening here. Now, we've already kind of gone over that a bajillion times. It was years ago. Okay, cool. Like we've talked about it. But you can't then be that critical and get on some moral high ground about coaches interviewing for other jobs and thinking about other jobs when their team's competing, when you did exactly that to Washington.
Here's the thing. He can do whatever he wants to do. He has to deal with people coming at him and reminding him that you were 14-1 with Washington. You guys were on your way. You're ranked as high as 2 in the country. Mm-hmm. And you definitely were having conversations.
100%.
Maybe, how people convince themselves of their lies sometimes? Maybe he was thinking, okay, maybe because it was an email. I didn't really pick up the phone. I just got an email. Sure. I wasn't really talking to him. I was exchanging emails with this team. Like, there's something in the story that he's convinced himself that doesn't put him in this category when outsiders looking in, it looks exactly the way he's describing it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, Kalen, I will only give you credit in that it's a great line. It's a great paragraph. Like, it is a great quote. Unfortunately, you fall into the category of coach you're critiquing.
So the timeline of DeBoer's departure from Washington and when he took the Alabama job, January 8th, 2024 was the national championship game. January 10th, Nick Saban retired. January 12th, Kalen DeBoer was already named Alabama's next head coach. Like,
Quick interview process.
I don't know if it goes that quick.
Quick interview process.
That seems impossible that DeBoer had no knowledge that Saban was stepping down. Because don't they share an agent? I think isn't Jimmy Sexton representing Kalen DeBoer as well as Nick Saban?
Kalen, we all know what happened. Next up, Marshawn Lynch and Mike Robb had Drew Brees on as a guest on the Get Got podcast this week, and Brees asked Marshawn a question we've all had on our minds.
All right, this is what I got to know, though. When you got to the goal line, of course, and you knew you were going to score, the pose, when did it cross your mind?
I don't know
how you were entering.
That's the first thing he said to me when after he came back. Did you see me grab my? I'm like, bruh.
Because we was mad. I know I was mad. Because all we just kept hearing was like, how y'all was going to spank us.
Yep. Yeah.
They like, they going to FTA these boys. And the whole time I'm like, damn, they not even giving us a shot.
Yeah.
So internally like, oh, yeah, that. And I with New Orleans. But I was like, I was mad.
Yeah.
And that, I ain't no big you and all because I get tired real fast. So if we fighting, then let's come on and let's fight. But if we gotta talk a long time, I get when.
Hey, Drew, you
gotta pace yourself a little bit.
I gotta admit, Bump, it's even cooler knowing the background of how he was feeling in the moment.
It is, and for him just to do that just off the rip, and I have a plan, it wasn't premeditated. Makes it even that much better. And if I'm on the other side, I'm the Saints, and I'm on that video. There's a couple of dudes, notable names, are on the run right there. I can't even watch that. It's gonna make me mad every single time. So it was disrespectful, but I love the disrespect.
Next up, it seems like NBA expansion is a foregone conclusion after Adam Silver's press conference last week. But Bill Simmons is telling everyone it may not be that simple.
So if you live in Seattle and you read and consumed all this stuff the last week or so, you're like, this is amazing. We're getting the Sonics back. Here we go. That's not what's happening. And I think it's really weird how the league is handling this. Why not just be transparent and say, hey, we're just curious to see what we get for these expansion teams. This doesn't mean we're going to have expansion. Instead, you've completely led this poor Seattle people on who now think they're getting a team. And I don't know if that's true. If the goal is we have to right or wrong in Seattle, first of all, you never should have took the team from Seattle in the first place. Criminal when it happened. I still can't believe it happened. They let it happen, and they didn't rectify it for almost 20 years. You better know you're going to have a team in Seattle in the next 3 years, because to extend this and make it seem like it's going to happen and then pull the rug out from under them again would be pretty up.
I don't think the rug's going to get pulled out unless there isn't a bid.
Or the bid isn't where they want it to be.
Right. So
they come in at like $5 billion.
Exactly.
Disrespectful. They're expecting $7 to $10 billion. I don't know. That would be messed up. But we already have an investment group that says, look, we're interested. We're going to put together a bid that takes care of everything. So that's what makes me a bit more confident. If they were to do this, if they were to pull the rug out of Seattle, I would fear for anything affiliated with the NBA, because that would not be a good look.
You know how sometimes there's a sports story that you read about, and then there's another story on top of it. Like sometimes you'll see Adam Schefter tweet something, and there's the information he's tweeting, but then there's the added layer of like, oh, he's friends with this agent, so he's trying to get this message out. It's kind of how I'm interpreting the Bill Simmons stuff. And Curtis mentioned this, that there was a rumor, right, that Bill Simmons wanted to be part of the Vegas ownership group, and then
somebody
got out.
Kind of speculated.
There's a speculation.
I mean, Bill Simmons is a very wealthy guy and has, a deep love for the NBA, and the person who was speculating was kind of like, well, maybe Simmons got told no by the NBA, like, you can't be part of a potential ownership team, so that's kind of why he's been maybe banging the drum against expansion.
Right, and he isn't banging the drum against a team to Seattle. He thinks it should be instead relocation of Memphis or New Orleans or whatever else. But I think for Bill, I don't know nearly as much about the NBA, the politics of the NBA, and everything to do with the NBA as Bill, who's brilliant. But even I looked at that press conference from Adam Silver and went, well, he's not being blunt because they haven't officially accepted offers. And like, you know why he's not saying it, Bill. So why are you now trying to make it seem as though that's something Seattle fans, I feel like you're adding fuel to a fire from like a trauma that Seattle fans have that you don't need to add yet.
Yeah, he does. It's going to help his ratings, and people are going to listen. They're going to respond to him. They're going to play it on the radio show and have comments on it. I think the NBA is dipping their toe in the water. It's cold, knowing that they're eventually going to get in. You just got to take your time.
Mm-hmm. The Mariners have officially announced their September 9th game will start at 1:10 p.m. It was originally a night game, but the Seahawks season opener forced the change. So that September 9th game, go in and fix your calendar if you have it out. 1:10 p.m. start for that one, and then the Seahawks are going to open up their season, we think, against the Bears, but against someone at Lumen that Wednesday night. Last up, is the NCAA exercising common sense for once? The NCAA has proposed barring players from returning to play collegiately if they go through their sport's entire draft process. This obviously following controversial moves with hoops players entering an NBA draft and then heading back into college and mixing up the transfer portal and things becoming messy.
Sure. Got something right, finally.
You don't want to give them that much credit.
No, I don't.
Let's go around the diamond. The Mariners have the night off, but it is the return of Extra Innings with Curtis Rogers from 7 to 9 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up at noon, the Seahawks defense through the eyes of a legendary quarterback. Phillip Rivers was a guest on Brock and Salk. Before we get to that, getting back to what we learned from Ryan Roland-Smith when it comes to what's going on with Cal, Julio, and Naylor.
He built the Seahawks into the 2025 Super Bowl champions.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
And every Thursday afternoon at 4, he's on Seattle Sports.
We have higher expectations for ourselves.
It's the John Schneider Show, presented by Silver City Brewery. 2025 NFL Executive of the Year, John Schneider.
I think it's the ultimate organizational award.
Every Thursday at 4, exclusively on the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at OurRealSuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250. Say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Around the Diamond is sponsored by Klein Jewelers.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
So the good news about the Mariners through just 7 games is that Luke Raley, Dom Canzone, Brennan Donovan, all OPSing over 1,000. Brennan Donovan has been a wonderful addition to this team so far, slashing 417, 533, 750. Has 2 home runs already. Only struck out 6 times. The bad news is that's not who you were really looking at as being central to what you're trying to do offensively here. You were looking at Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, and really excited about the return of Josh Naylor. Those guys, a different story here. Josh Naylor bump is 1 for 27. Cal Raleigh is 4 for 25. And Julio is 2 for 26. No home runs for any of those guys so far. We don't feel good about that.
No, you don't feel good about it.
You don't feel good about it.
No, but you feel like because of their weird offseason that has contributed to the slow start. You can say that, but Julio always starts slow.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a season where he started fast. Cal has picked it up around this time, so we'll give him time to live with that. Who else are you talking about? Who's the other one? Naylor. And Naylor, we don't know how he starts, at least not by experience. I even asked Shannon, I go, well, what does it start usually look like? She goes, honestly, I don't know because I haven't really followed him since only started following him since he's been with this ball club. So with Naylor, I'm just going to say, I don't know how you usually work out, homie. So you go ahead and get a pass. With Julio, this is typically what you do. With Cal, it's like now you get going about 7 games in.
So we were joined earlier by Ryan Rowland-Smith, and we wanted to ask him about those 3 players in particular, and we said, okay, tell us what you're seeing, Ryan, and not only that, but what we're going to be watching for here in back-to-back series against some divisional foes with the Angels and Rangers.
First of all, Julio, encouraging. The swing and miss is not that bad. When you really look it back, and I can watch pretty much every pitch, like I can just pull every pitch up together on my computer, and there's not a whole lot of chase, swing and miss, and there's some pretty hard contact in there. Mm-hmm. Josh Naylor, it's not like he's just missing pitches. He's just off balance, man. Like he's just kind of rolling over pitches that he caught out in front. But the one guy, with Cal, I'm just kind of waiting for, is he going to get to that heater? Right now, his swing and miss rate on fastballs, anything 94 miles per hour and up, is around 90% swing and miss, which, look, it's something he'll correct. I just, again, I spoke to you guys when you guys were walking through the stadium yesterday, just about the WBC. Those guys are going to be a couple of weeks behind, I think.
So I'm watching Cal closely because of that note. He's already got 15 strikeouts, Bump. You noted leading the league in strikeouts right now. Even though Cal is a player who does strike out a little more than average, right? Like he's got, I like the way that it was described in that Sports Illustrated feature on him last year as like engineering his swing to make it perfectly suited to hitting home runs, but not necessarily to like getting base hits all the time. So he's great because he's got power. He can hit from both sides of the plate. He's great defensively and he can hit bombs. Sometimes he's going to get into stretches where he's not doing much of anything, or when he's like 2 for 14 and those 2 are home runs, right? Like it's just going to happen. We've seen that before. And that's what we're seeing right now is a strikeout rate that's even higher than that.
You got to know your personnel, right? Even with your friends, right? You know who's going to show up late. You know who's going to be the planner. You know who's going to be the DD. You know who is going to be the more social one. Same thing here is we know who Cal is, and he's a guy whose swing is built to hit bombs. And when your swing is built to hit bombs, you are more than likely going to K a bit more than the average player. Who's Donovan? His swing is not built to hit bombs. His swing is built to put the ball in play. Guess what? He's leading the team in hits right now. Cole Young has a little bit of both, right? He can go yard. We've seen his power. Haven't seen it throughout the whole season. We'll get to know him a bit more. We're getting to know Cole Young, and so far the impressions are great. With Julio, we know that he's going to start off slow. We were hoping that maybe this was the year that all that changes. But no, if you understand your personnel, you understand who your team is, who each individual is, I think it will allow you to give a bit more leeway when it comes to the start that this team is having. To start the show, we pointed out how over the last, 7 seasons, this team has started around 3-4, minus 1 year, 2-5, when through the first 7 games. Granted, the teams were a bit different, but some of the main pillars were still there. That's why I'm not hitting the panic button yet, because it's early, 7 games, and I understand who each player is on this team.
Yeah. God, I am a little, I want to say nervous. It's too premature to say nervous, but like these players are so important. Julio's typically hot, actually consistently hot second halves are kind of making me put him on the back burner right now, even though you desperately want that to heat up. Cal started relatively slow last year, but it felt like he was seeing the ball better. He was still drawing walks early last year. I think his first debut of the season was a walk. And what you're seeing now, Ryan pointed it out, he hasn't hit anything over that's been over 95 miles per hour.
Yeah.
So, and it's just like really missing at the bottom of the zone. It's been a weird start. And I think it's a lot easier for me right now, and based on conversations we've had with people, to just go, nah, WBC makes it tough, especially WBC on a catcher when you're splitting. You've mentioned this, when you're splitting those reps with another catcher. You weren't even getting all the WBC at bats.
Yeah.
You were
if there's
sitting
a time
for the last
where he
week.
was sitting there and be like, man, I should be in Peoria right now. Not
Maybe.
getting my reps.
I mean, like appreciating the moment, but probably thinking like, man, it sure would be good to be able to get some work in here. Yeah. This sucks. And instead, now you're starting the season slow. So I'm hoping, and maybe I'm completely wrong, but I'm hoping that slightly warmer weather in Anaheim, that a worse team in Anaheim, and that first week under his belt leads to not just Cal, but hopefully Naylor also getting into the swing of things, no pun intended.
Yeah. There's something about the California sun that brings a different kind of endorphins and stuff. It activates that stuff. So, yeah, go ahead and take your road trip to Cali. Get it right. Share some beers and some stories.
Sometimes you just need a good road trip.
You do, and then hit the ball.
Just need a good road trip, and then everything will be fine. No game tonight. You're going to have an off day, extra innings. The first extra innings of the season is coming your way at 7 p.m. with Curtis Rogers. Curtis, what do you have on deck for extra innings tonight?
We'll be talking with Trent Rush of the Angels Radio Network, previewing the series, and just 2 hours of baseball talk.
Just baseball
Strap
talk.
in, folks.
So that's tonight from 7 to 9 p.m., hosted by Curtis Rogers. And then tomorrow is game one of that series against the Angels in Anaheim, 6:38 p.m. First pitch, 5:30 p.m. pregame show right here on Seattle Sports. Back to the Seahawks next.
After coming up short in their last 2 games against the Yankees.
Paul Goldschmidt, 3-run home run.
The Yankees. The Mariners hit the road for the first time in the new season. Up first, the start of a 3-game series against the Angels in Anaheim. Tomorrow night, can Brian Wu pitch the Mariners to a win? First pitch at 6:38. Pre-game at 6. You only need one app to catch every pitch of every game, all for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Hi, Andy Klein here. There's something special about a baseball game. The moments and the memories. At Klein Jewelers, that's exactly how we feel about our diamonds. They're a beautiful reminder of life's biggest moments. We're here to help you find the perfect diamond or beautiful piece of jewelry to celebrate your engagement, anniversary, birthday, promotion, or just because. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. Shine with Klein.
Rick Riz here for the Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington's Improve Your Play program. Many of our local youth sports teams need help with field enhancements, training, and equipment. Local Pella owners Keith Dashafy and Luke Wilson are stepping up to donate $5,000 to 2 deserving teams. We need your help finding them. Head to seattlesports.com/play to nominate a deserving team in need. Let's help our local youth improve their play this year with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Contest and rules at seattlesports.com/play.
The Mariners are celebrating 50 seasons with legendary events all year. On April 10th, Ichiro gets his statue outside T-Mobile Park, and the first 40,000 fans take home a replica, thanks to BDA, with 20 signed by Ichiro himself. On May 2nd, it's Randy Johnson's number retirement ceremony, presented by T-Mobile. And on August 8th, the top 50 greatest Mariners players are unveiled on 50 Seasons Celebration Night, presented by Daktronics. See the full schedule and get your tickets at mariners.com.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consult today at k2visionrle.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Meet the company electrifying the marine industry. ARC, a fully electric boat that feels like a luxury EV. Significantly less maintenance and service, ARC is built to be as easy to operate as it is to maintain. Featuring heated seats and seat backs, a large display, easy handling, and impressive kick. You have to see it and experience ARC for yourself. Book a demo. They'll pick you up on Lake Washington, Lake Union, or Lake Sammamish if you can't come to them in Kirkland. Go to arcboats.com/demo. ARC. You have to see it to believe it.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their series finale to the Yankees yesterday, 5-3. They have an off day today. Extra innings coming up at 7 p.m. And then tomorrow they hit the road for a series against the Angels beginning at 6:38 p.m. Friday. Elsewhere in MLB, the Pirates are calling up 19-year-old shortstop Connor Griffin, the #1 prospect in baseball, for their home opener tomorrow.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Bump, you know how I was giving you a really hard time defending Tom Brady and his desire to return to the league? Mm-hmm. And you were like, no, I want to see it. If he can play, like, have him out there. And I was like, let someone else do it, Tom. Like, you have to walk away eventually. You can't retire and then unretire and then come back. And
he
then
can do whatever he wants.
Well, yes, and he's the GOAT, and I totally get it. But as I was looking over the conversation that Phillip Rivers had with Brock and Salk yesterday, and it's really cool. We're going to get to what Phillip Rivers had to say about facing the Seahawks defense and what he sees. I realized, like, I think I'm wrong because what I took away from Phillip Rivers being in the league is that it was so much more fun to watch him than I expected. That was so cool, just objectively cool. And there was like a nostalgia to it too, audibling that much at the line. Like it was awesome. And so maybe you're right.
Oh, that was hard for you to say.
That was tough. That was I almost didn't get those words out. But you may or may not, but may be right in that it could be cool to see an older quarterback suit up for between 1 and 3 games.
Why not? Phillip Rivers out there with the dad bod on point. You know, you can tell he lost some velocity in his throws, but he's still out there pushing it down the field.
Yeah.
Nah, I loved it.
Well, Phillip Rivers, and this is in part why people were initially like, what are you doing? Started that return with a game against Seattle. They ended up nearly beating the Seahawks, not because of Phillip Rivers, but he looked great. But that also gave Brock an opportunity to ask Phillip Rivers a lot about what the Seahawks looked like through the eyes of a veteran quarterback who knows exactly how to dissect a defense. So first, he was asked how tough it was to prepare for the Seahawks defense.
Early in the week, you're worried about yourself and your own game plan, and then it's like, all right, man, I got where's this stinking nickel? I got to make sure I know where 3 is that's in the game like a linebacker all the time. And then here's Witherspoon that obviously is a heck of a blitzer as well and a great DB. And then this defensive front and how do we want to handle Leonard Williams and what about Lawrence and Chinna and these guys rushing on the outside? So as you're going through the week, it really felt like the box was their strength and you felt like 3 was kind of the star. I mean, he'd be the kind of the guy that I would star and say, look out, he'll wreck this game, and he can play. He's as fast as anybody on the field, but he's also as physical as any linebacker and any guy in the box. And obviously that linebacker core, I just thought as a whole, there with Ernest and Drake Thomas, and then you throw in, you consider, Evan Moore as a linebacker, even though I know he's a safety. So it was a safety nickel kind of body, but they were really solid.
So cool to hear a veteran quarterback say that about a rookie.
He's talking it through, and I'm like in a VR system right now. I'm behind the line of scrimmage, and he's talking about, okay, let me find 3. Bam, I identify where Nick Amore is. All right, now where's 21? We know we'd like to send him to, okay? He's on the opposite side. All right, now where's Leonard Williams? Okay, he's strong side. 3 technique right there. All right, now how am I going to slide this protection? I got to slide it towards Leonard so we get a double team right there, okay? I slide it that way, then I should be, am I put my running back on my right side or my left side to take care of that nickel who's probably going to blitz, either Imawari or Devin Witherspoon. Okay, but now both these linebackers are walked up to the line of scrimmage looking like they're showing a 6-man pressure, but I know they're probably going to send forward. Like, these are the things that he's going through within 24 seconds, and has to diagnose that thing. And if you're making a veteran like Phillip Rivers have to go through these checklists, not everyone does, but to hear him talk about how difficult it is lets you know what other quarterbacks felt like. Like Drake May. Drake May could not handle the pressure the way that Phillip Rivers handled the pressure.
And he talked about how the Seahawks defense disguises those things and does make it hard on quarterbacks.
Here's where I thought a Seahawks defense, a handful of these teams have really improved. The Jaguars, I thought, were this way as well, is – when there's one guy disguising, or there's a guy that's like, oh, he's jacking with you and all that, but the other guys aren't in sync, it's kind of like, hey, man, I know you're not coming because this dude over here already told me what the coverage was. You know what I mean? And so, but this Seahawks defense, the Jaguars, and I say the Jaguars, again, they were really good, but because I played them, I got to see them up close, in that week 17 game. But they were in sync and doing it together, and it's like, man, these guys are on it. Like, yeah, it did look like man, and everybody made it look like man, not just 2 guys. Or these guys, I thought it wasn't just Witherspoon giving the disguise. They were all giving it.
A little bit more here.
Yeah, well, I just picture a nickel over a number 2 receiver, right, over the slot receiver out there, and he's kind of doing his, like, starting to creep, like he's gonna blitz, and he's jacking with you. But yet the backside safety is already so hunkered in, and it's stone cold cover 2 over there, right? Or the will linebacker is in the B gap when he should have been in the A gap. It's kind of like, hey, well, he's just jacking with me. I know he's jacking with me. But when it's kind of like, well, he's jacking with me, and that safety's starting to creep to the middle, and the backer's just like, man, maybe it is real. Maybe it is real. So it's those kind of things.
I thought that was amazing.
That's why quarterback's so hard, because especially playing against a team like the Seahawks is that, like you described, everyone's on the same page. And everyone's on the same page and making you think that it's something that it's not. And then when the ball is snapped, you're hoping that you slid your coverage the right way, so your protection the right way. And you still got to get into your drop and verify the information that you got pre-snap and within the next 2 steps in your backdrop. That's why quarterback is the hardest position to play in sports. Anyone who goes against that, I think you're absolutely nuts. Mentally, it is the hardest position to play. That's why I did not take that scholarship to be a quarterback, because of that right there. I'm like, nah, man, that's too much.
It's not for me.
I just want to run my route, get open, diagnose the coverage, not have to deal with the box. The box is what makes football so difficult, especially when you have the versatility with a number 3 and number 21.
I wonder what kind of role Mike Macdonald has in getting all these guys to be, because when we say something like on the same page, I think what that initially communicates on a surface level is everyone knows what's going on and what the plan is. But also on the same page can also be, hey, this is how we get inside the mind of what the quarterback's seeing from us. There's no way Mike Macdonald isn't also behind wanting to make sure the entire defense is conveying a disguise, because he's like, I know exactly how this gets picked apart if only, our safeties are selling this or whatever it is.
On the same page with the bluff is what it is. And the movements are the same, right? The safety rolling down, and the D and the nickel creeping up, the backer in the wrong gap. It's all about making the QB question what he's seen. And then when the ball snap, everyone gets to where they're supposed to be according to a different coverage. It's difficult, man. It's beautiful to see. And if you can get in the mind of a guy who's been in this league so long, that says a lot about the discipline of your defense, too, to not give it away. The key is you have to be so late with your rotation. You got to show it early and not get out of there until the ball is snapped. Sometimes guys start to rotate and show their bluff, and right before the ball snapped, they start to leak out. And the blitz is a bluff, now I can move on to the next. But the way they do it is the ball has to be snapped before they move. And even when the ball is snapped, they're so athletic that sometimes they'll wait to get to their proper spot.
I was going to ask, is that why it's so important? Because we talked to Brian Baldinger at the draft, and he kind of hinted at that like they wait until either right before or at the snap to show certain things. So then all of a sudden, when you're a quarterback, you're trying to diagnose while you're dropping back, and everything's very confusing. It's like, do you have to have freaky athletes, Steve? Is that why someone like John Schneider's like, we need to prioritize speed, we need to prioritize someone that can make up for this?
Freaky athletes and discipline. So imagine in this scenario he put out there, he says you got your nickel over the number 2 receiver, so the slot guy. He starts to roll down like he's about to blitz. All right. Safety rolls over the top. Typically when you see that rotation, nickel comes over, safety over the top to replace him over that number 2 receiver. All right, and let's just say, all right, they're really just going to drop into a zone, and that nickel isn't going to go. All right, I've seen this on tape before. The nickel doesn't go. He sees that the number 2 receiver goes vertical. He's no longer my responsibility. I got the flat here. All right, if I don't have an immediate threat to the flat, whether it's a running back or a tight end, I'm not rushing to get out there. I'm going to stay right here until someone forces me out there. Those are the kind of things that confuses guys, because typically high school, college, and even NFL, as soon as that ball snapped, dudes are flipping their hips and they are running to that flat because they don't want to get beat. But they're so good with those guys that they can be patient.
Now, that's from a quarterback who had been doing this for, 18-plus years. What about a 24-year-old? Philip Rivers was asked if he'd be able to identify some of this stuff the Seahawks were doing as a younger guy.
Yes, but not as well. That's where I was going to say. That's where 250 games comes in as opposed to 15 games. It would have just said, well, nobody ran with an emotion. It must be zone. You know what I mean? It's that simple when you're a second-year quarterback as opposed to, 44 years old. You see it a little different, and you have those feelings. There was another time where they didn't pressure. They didn't. They did pressure, but it was like But you hear. I heard Drake and Ernest. I couldn't hear them audibly, but you see them communicating like, "Hey, we got to go." I see Ernest tell Drake, "We got to go," and it was like, "Oh, must mean this nickel's coming." Yep, he is. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that.
So that's not like oh my God, they gave it away. That's he's 44 years old and he knows to have that feel for it that you develop with time. That's very intriguing for a team that, yes, is going to play some veteran quarterbacks, but you're still going to get Caleb Williams in year 3. You know what I mean? You're going to get some young guys this year too. Still, you're going to see Drake May again year 2. 3,
for me, what he just said was the most impressive thing, because with all the stuff that he mentioned, with finding Leo, finding the nickel, safety rotation, who's bluffing, who's not, he's looking at the backers and looking at their communication. Can't even hear them, but just looking at their mouth and body language, and has the presence of mind to do that. I'm sure other quarterbacks do that, but when's the last time you had a 44-year-old, 20-year veteran on the radio, breaking it down for you like that? Only time I get that is when schools or teams let me sit in on quarterback meetings and stuff. You don't get this all the time. That interview was on point.
Such a cool interview. Okay, I have one final cut here. The full interview is on the Brock and Salk podcast. Absolutely worth the listen. Philip Rivers was asked how he'd compare this 2025 Seahawks defense to the LOB.
Well, yeah, I think similar in this. It's similar in this way. They're very sure of who they are, and they're very on task. With their assignments and how to play what they play. And those, you mentioned the 14 and 18 team and the team that won the Super Bowl that by a large margin in years past to beat the Broncos that year. They didn't do a whole lot. But they did it very well, and they almost knew their defense so well that they could just play what they're seeing and play the tendencies of the offense. And I feel like that's the similarity. It's a different scheme, kind of comes from out of a different look. But they know what they're doing so well, and they're playing in such sync together that it allows them to play with that speed, and obviously that they have that from a talent standpoint, but play with the speed from what they're seeing. We kind of call that accelerated vision. They have that accelerated vision of what's coming. They almost feel a step ahead of you.
What'd you think of that comp?
I think it's perfect. I think knowing who you are is key. And when you know who you are, you know your assignment. Even when you know, the personnel around you. I know Reek is fast as heck. So there's some things that I can do differently. Reek, good luck in Philly. I know that Kobe is going to, when this crosser gets to the middle of the field, Kobe's going to fly down. Just knowing who you are and your personnel allows you to be so confident out there when you're playing ball.
I thought it was cool to hear him talk about exactly knowing who they were and the confidence and the physicality being the similarity there, because I think because both are the Seahawks and both went on to and won Super Bowls and both were the best defense in their league that season, there's that very obvious line to draw that people do, I think, on too surface a level or on too much a surface level. Oh, it's like LOB. And I still remember Kevin Clark on This Is Football. His podcast had that interview with Richard Sherman, and Richard Sherman, he was like, if I could drop you down into the NFL and you're 25 years old again, where do you want to play? He was like, yeah, I love Seattle's defense and what Mike McDonald is doing, but Houston's defense this year feels more like what we were doing in 2013 than this year's Seattle defense. And then he went on to explain the differences in a really interesting way. So again, I think that we constantly go, oh, it's the new LOB. Well, wait, it's excellence in a very different way with similarities that can teach us lessons about what makes a great defense, right? Like what makes a great defense is going to be the confidence. Everyone's on the same page. Everyone knows what to do. Oh, also you have like tier 1 athletes. You don't have to have exactly the same scheme. There's not one sneaky way to unlock greatness.
No.
So it was just a cool comparison to hear from Richard Sherman back during the season and from Phillip Rivers here.
Coaching, first it starts with personnel. Personnel is everything. You got to have some guys who can make you right when you're wrong and make you great when you're right. That's what you start off with. Teaching. You got to be able to teach your philosophy, your scheme in a way that if something were to go wrong, these players can self-correct and understand it. We've seen that. And now just progression throughout the season. This was not one of the best defenses in the league through the first 4 weeks of this year. They got to this point. So that means there's a progression that's happening every single week. The teaching continues, and the personnel just keep stepping up to the challenge because physically they're able to do it, and mentally they're so locked in that they're good to go.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Raiders are signing Kirk Cousins, presumably to back up Fernando Mendoza. What's the real headline?
I just know that quarterback dinner is taking place at the Tournament of Kings. It has to. These two are not hitting the tables in Vegas. They're not going to the casinos. They're going to medieval times where they're going to recap the game together.
Here's what they better do. They better do it once or twice, though, to connect with the boys because there's going to be about 70 guys on that team, and most of them don't want to go to the fake medieval times.
But they might have a great time.
They want to go eat at a 5-star, go down, gamble a little bit. You just have to be around. You don't have to participate in it, but once or twice a year, you better go ahead and do that. When I was in college, Alex Brink did not really party with us. Quarterback, stay focused. Once or twice a year, he'd come out. We'd have some fun. It makes them normal.
Yeah.
You go back to studying the playbook.
Yeah.
We're going to hit these streets.
Counterpoint. Was there ever a time in your life, it could be with Alex, it could be another guy, where maybe like their version of fun was slightly different and you were like, this is going to be so dumb, and then everyone had a blast?
No, quarterbacks cater to us.
Okay, sure. But I'm kind of imagining that, like, look, a group of 50 dudes might end up having a great time at medieval times.
What about if they suggest you go to M&M World in Las Vegas? You get all the different colors, all the different
Think
flavors.
about that.
That'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
World of Coke.
You know what? You know who likes stuff like that? Linemen. Take the linemen. The linemen would love.
What do the receivers want to do?
Stuff like that.
Not that.
Not that. For the most part, every room's different. My experiences.
Yeah.
The linemen will want to do some stuff like that. Receivers, DBs, linebackers, running backs.
Yeah.
Edge. We want to get out here.
I'm trying to think of me planning like a group bonding experience for the four of us and like doing only what I consider to be fun. No, not in, it would be we're going to the hotel and I'm going to put on Summer House and we're going to scroll on our phones in silence.
Do we need Summer House on in the background to do that?
Yes, we need reality TV and we're all just going to scroll on our phones.
I mean, I'm down with just sitting down and scrolling. I do all the time.
World of Coke, actually a fun time because they give you one of those flights of like international sodas. And it's like, oh, this one's not bad. The worst is one from, I think it's like Italy. It's bad. Real bad.
I also saw that this will be Kirk Cousins' 11th season of guaranteed money, and he has made $208 million during that time. I don't know. This guy's made so much money from being not quite good enough, but still, you can't even say anything to him about it. What are you gonna say? You're not the best quarterback ever. Okay, he's made a ton of money from being good.
Career earnings $321 million.
God. So 2/3 of that in the last 10 or so years. Not 10 or so years, excuse me, from the last couple contracts.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, Puka Nacua checked himself into rehab in the wake of getting a suit filed against him by a woman claiming he bit her and yelled racist remarks towards her. What's the real headline?
I wish someone would have told first grade me there was rehab for biting people.
Rehab is for everyone, but famous people, man, all they got to do is say, yeah, I checked in. I don't even know if they finished the whole program. There's a lot of people just leave and stuff. And everyone keeps telling me, not everyone, but a few people said that the Malibu rehab isn't a very, it's not a place where things get done. You know what I mean?
Oh, so it's like a resort. It's a resort spa.
Yeah, it's good for PR. And that's what it feels like with Puka. So, man, good luck, Puka. I hope you follow through with the program. I hope you come out a changed man. But the Rams are going to have to keep a close eye on him. He's going to need a buddy at all times. Check in with so-and-so at this point. That's the way you have to treat him because he's shown that the offseason, he just can't handle it.
206, Bump, did you say great teammates make you right when you're wrong and great when you're right? That's a bar and a half.
Sure. I'll take it.
You did say that.
I did say that?
Yeah. Did you just invent that?
Off the rip.
Wow, that is a really good line. They make you right when you're wrong and great when you're right. Cool.
That is a bar. Why don't you give me bars?
Well, I guess I am just now thinking about it.
No, it's one of those ones, you listen to a song, you got to listen to it like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
Oh,
And then that's exactly what it was.
Thank you, 206.
What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, Jerry Jones says he wants George Pickens to negotiate directly with him and not go through an agent. What's the real headline?
God, if only there was a recent history of Jerry Jones wanting to negotiate directly with a player and not their agent. But my mind is blinking.
Come on, Jerry.
Can't think of one.
Jerry, we've already tried this, Jerry. It didn't work. You know what this is? This is when I have an area of expertise, right? But my kids, they want to talk to their mom about it. It was like, no, this is my area. So in this position, I'm the agent. This is what I do. And he wants to go talk to his mom. Your mom, like, she knows it, but this is what I do, though. So stick with me. Jerry's just trying to manipulate young people.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
These young guys
this is.
who are 24, 23 years of age. Jerry has all this experience, probably has all these mind games he tries to play with them.
He's 97 years old.
Get them to bite into what he's selling. And no, let your agent do his job. You're paying this man. You're already paying him, 10% of your contract.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and use that 10%.
It's the best way to say it is what you said about manipulating young people. Like, however Jerry is trying to flip this is like, well, this is how we've always done it, and we're family. Why can't we keep it in-house? It's like, why do you want to, Jerry?
Yeah.
Like, let's think about the incentives for both sides. This player wants to make the most money possible and get a long-term commitment. Jerry Jones wants to save as much money as he can and get the most return talent-wise per dollar. Those are opposite incentives. It's not that, like, when John Schneider goes in to negotiate with JSN, it's not that he doesn't want JSN here. It is in John Schneider's best interest that he pay JSN below market value. JSN, his agent, is like, absolutely not. We want this, right? Mm-hmm. You can have competing interests in the ultimate same goal, which is JSN's here and you're winning a Super Bowl. But, like, Jerry, that's why he has an agent. You guys have competing interests.
Come on, man. Jerry, stop it. Stop.
You want to negotiate with a 26-year-old, 27-year-old and try to save money?
You got to treat him like Dookie. Dookie, no.
Okay.
No, that's enough.
I would just like to say for the record, his name is Lukey. Secondly.
Not to Uncle Bump. He's Dookie.
That's cute that you think that.
His name is Lukey. Secondly, someone texted in earlier and said their dog's name is Luca, and they've been calling him Lukey Dookie.
See? Has a nice ring to it.
My sister calls him Dookie now. I just don't like it. That's not his name. That's not his name. He's Lukey. He's a sweet boy. He's just the sweetest. And I told you that one day I'm going to get a stranger driving by that just goes, Dookie!
I need you guys to scream Dookie if you see Stacy walking her dog. Please.
There's not a lot of greyhounds.
That's what I'm saying. I've never seen a greyhound on the streets.
But this is what you risk doing. That randomly there is a greyhound, and this is not likely, but that there is a greyhound that's not Lukey/Dookie, and you yell Dookie at a dog whose name is Peter.
It's still going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Just lean into it. Dookie!
Leave Lukey alone. You sweet boy. Download the Seattle Sports app. Every game, one app, completely free. Did I mention it's free? Take the game with you on the go when you're out running errands, at Little League practice, on a hike, on the boat, wherever. The Seattle Sports app travels with you so that you can enjoy every pitch of Rick Riz's final season all in one place at no cost. It is the easiest way to enjoy Seattle Mariners baseball. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, why did the NFL force the Seahawks and Patriots to do Hard Knocks? Adam Schefter has the answer.
ESPN senior MLB insider Jeff Passan every Tuesday morning at 8:30 with Brock and Salk.
Brought to you by your Western Washington Toyota dealers.
Colt Emerson, 8-year extension.
Free agent years are incredibly valuable. If you can get those at a discount, when you have Julio Rodriguez and Cal Raleigh and Colt Emerson locked up for the better part of half a decade, you're in a really good spot.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Spring and summer, it's right around the corner. So if you haven't called PCF about getting started on your new deck, well, right now is the time. With a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long. And right now, you can get up to $6,000 off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Save an additional $1,500 when you bundle your deck and patio cover. Some restrictions do apply, but do what we did. Contact PCF for all the details and start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build by the spring. Planning and permits, they can take a little time, so please don't wait. Get started today. Get project ideas, browse photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
This baseball season, Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton have you covered with every play. With their lineup of Tundras, Tacomas, and the all-electric BZ lineup. Versatile, powerful, and innovative. All built to elevate your drive. Take a test drive at either location and head home or to the ballpark in that Toyota the same day. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. Visit Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton or online at toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com.
O'Brien. By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's radio to 64,000.
Hey, John, why so glum? I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this. Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career. Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch. Watch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Spring is a perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Why did the NFL force the Seahawks and Patriots to do Hard Knocks? Is it because they wanted to help Bump and Stacy with content in summer? Maybe. Adam Schefter, though, has another answer that I guess I'll accept given his connections.
Let me tell you why there was a double announcement which we've never seen before. Because the NFL in recent years has struggled to get teams to do Hard Knocks. And when the NFL has asked teams to do Hard Knocks during the summer, the answer that they're commonly told is, we'll do it next year. We'll do it next year. Like, Dan, me saying to you, let's go grab lunch. We'll do it next month. We'll do it. No lunch. Okay? So the NFL has been asking teams to do Hard Knocks, and the answer always is next year. We'll do it next year. So what the NFL did this year is when the New England Patriots said we'll do it next year, they said, you're in. You've got 2027. Congratulations. Next year. And so they've taken the 2 Super Bowl participants, the Seahawks this summer in 26, the Patriots next summer in 27, and they held their feet to the fire. And they said, next year it is.
It's deferring jury duty. You know, if you defer it, they're like, okay, but you can't defer it again, so you actually have to do it. And you're like, yeah, totally. And then it rolls around, and then you actually, congrats, now you have jury duty. That's what they actually did.
This is like when I took you out one time, you're like, oh, we got to do this again. I'm like, yeah, we'll probably never do this again. Because Stacey's always going to have an excuse not to go out.
But it was fun. We watched a game.
Yeah. So I relate 100% to what's going on here.
I know.
Nobody wants extra cameras in camp. Nobody wants extra interviews.
I do.
No one wants the spotlight like that. Football culture is head down, grind. Head down, grind. You get to a point during training camp where your body is beat up. Mentally, you're tired. You don't want to put on, it's not put on the show, but you got to have your personality going in these interviews. They'd be tired of that, man. So I understand why.
I totally get why. I selfishly am now excited to see what this looks like behind the scenes. Maybe it ends up being very boring for people. Like, who knows? You know, sometimes it's not like the best season ever. But I think that it gives us really, really cool insight into a team. Like, we do see behind the scenes, but this is a different level.
It is. And I mean, I love Hard Knocks for that, though.
Yeah.
But as a player, I understand why it could be a pain in the butt.
Yeah. The Cowboys will be the home team for the NFL's regular season game in Rio de Janeiro this season, and we reportedly know the opponent, the Baltimore The Baltimore Sun says it'll be
There's not a whole lot of history between the Seahawks and Bears, but at least the Bears are kind of a young and up and coming
Week 1,
team.
Sam Darnold and JSN and the Seahawks against Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals.
Sounds so good.
So great.
So excited.
Where do things stand between the Eagles and A.J. Brown? Nick Sirianni answered that question at the owners' meetings in Phoenix.
You know, AJ's an Eagle. Nothing's changed since last time we talked through everything. But you're going through all the process that you go through each and every year. It's a little different this year because, you know, with a little bit of with the scheme change that we're making, you don't do as much of, hey, we're going to break down every single play that we ran last year, right? So it's just a little bit different of a process, but the process is, you know, getting ourselves ready for OTAs, bringing the staff together, everybody learning the new pieces, the new job descriptions of what we need to do within it. And that's what we're focused on.
Oh, such a boring answer, Nick. I want to hear you say something like, AJ's our guy. We love AJ. We can't imagine life without AJ. Like, I want a more direct backing up of AJ if he's going to stay there.
No, I think this is how you got to play it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because, you know, you're having conversations behind the scene. AJ, I'm sure, is talking to his agent. His agent's talking to all these other teams. I would want a more direct answer as well.
Mm-hmm.
But this is kind of, when I talk about coaches lying and beating around the bush, this is the
Yeah.
perfect time to do it. I'm not mad at this.
Well, reporters are allowed to speculate, and that's what ESPN's Jeremy Fowler did, because meanwhile, he gave an update on the situation with Rich Eisen.
I don't necessarily think they're in a terrible place at the moment. And Jalen Hurts said after the year that he and A.J. Brown spoke and that they are in a, quote, great place, I believe is what he said. So that is a positive. I really think it's one of those situations, Rich, where there's no blowout fight. Multiple sources told me they never saw A.J. and Jalen in some sort of huge scuffle or issue. Brown can kind of do that on his own, as we saw week to week. You know, what happened at the end of the season was probably the 8th worst thing that happened, you know, when he's addressing his coach and getting mad on the sideline. It was kind of a weekly charade, and certainly AJ deserves his share of the blame in the struggles last year too. But I think it's a situation where you have two players who have slightly different personalities, but also internalize a lot. Jalen Hurts, I think part of the struggle he has is he's very much an introvert. He's very much to himself. Whether he wins a Super Bowl or throws a pick, he's kind of the same guy, which can be hard to read inside a locker room, especially one with a lot of personalities and ego.
I feel like, because Aaron Right.
Yeah.
So that's an example of like, hey, this offense is really flat. This thing that we're trying to do to diversify it a little bit, Jalen doesn't like doing. That was a report, right? It's just from sources on ESPN, but like, you got to be open to that.
But if it's true,
right?
You got to expand. You got to get better. Who's the quarterback? When Mike Vick went to jail and had to sit down for a couple years. When he came back, his preparation was completely different. He was more of a pocket passer, still had the ability to run the football. But you saw that. You're like, dang, Vic, if you were this dude when you were 25, you'd be unstoppable. And he dang near was.
The Falcons, speaking of, unveiled new uniforms today, making a big upgrade from one of the worst looks in the league, and I can get behind it.
It was that bad last year?
Yes, unequivocally.
Yeah.
The gradient pattern, that's ugly on any football.
That's ugly.
Yes. These are clean.
I know that
I'm
we're
all for the simple look,
an
for sure.
audio platform and not visual media, but
Red
we'll
jerseys,
give your
classic-looking pants.
Yeah. It just looks classic. It looks simple and clean.
Well, nothing's going to beat their 90s jerseys, though, to me. I like
These
those.
are close to those.
Yeah.
Last one. Let's go quickly here. The Jags. By the way, do you say Jaguars or Jaguars? I say Jaguars, and every single time someone jumps on
I
it.
say Jaguars, too.
Me
One of
too.
my British Jaguars.
Jaguars. Shut up.
Where's Stanton when you need him?
Jaguar.
Did I say his name? Or was Jackie's name? Rob.
Stanton.
Rob, okay, I said it right. Perfect.
Staten.
Staten.
I corrected you with the wrong one. We just talked with Stanton. I'm getting everything mixed up. Rob, not John. The Jags will have a temporary home for 2027 as their home stadium in Jacksonville undergoes major renovations. The team is going to play at the 60,000-seat Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida, a 2-hour drive from Jacksonville.
Maybe you pick up some new fans. That's going to be tough. But Jacksonville coming off a good year last year, I would assume that their fans are going to travel.
You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Winning makes everyone closer, but that's not necessarily what brought this Seahawks locker room together. So what did? We'll tell you what one player said next.
After coming up short in their last 2 games against the Yankees.
Paul Goldschmidt, 3-run home run.
The Yankees. The Mariners hit the road for the first time in the new season. Up first, the start of a 3-game series against the Angels in Anaheim. Tomorrow night, can Brian Wu pitch the Mariners to a win? First pitch at 6:38. Pre-game at 6. You only need one app to catch every pitch of every game, all for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Meet the company electrifying the marine industry. Stacy here. Last Friday, I got to demo the Arc Sport from Arc. I didn't actually drive it. I was a little too scared, but I did sit in it, and it was beautiful. It's a fully electric boat that's built to be a wake boat, but owners are using it for everything. Carter from the demo team that Arc picked me up on right on Lake Union. First impression, how quiet it was. Literally no noise, no smell, no fumes you'd get from a gas engine. But the next thing I noticed is that we were the only ones on the water. It was a beautiful 60-degree Friday in March, which means most people have their boats winterized still, but not Arc. No winterization, oil changes, or transmission service means significantly less maintenance. You get on the water sooner. Arc is built to be easy to operate and maintain. It's a luxury EV, but on the water, with features like heated seats and seat backs, which I loved, a large display, easy handling, and impressive kick. You really have to see and experience this boat for yourself. So book a demo today. It's easy. They pick you up on Lake Washington, Lake Union, or Lake Sammamish if you can't come to them in Kirkland. Go to arcboats.com/demo, fill out the form, and you'll be out on the water. That's arcboats.com/demo. Arc, you have to see it to believe it.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Visit America's Car Museum now, where history roars to life. If you loved Ford versus Ferrari, see Shelby Cobras and GT40s in the birth of the American supercar. Cruise-ins, drive-ins, race simulators, fun for all ages. Plan today at americascarmuseum.org.
Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax. They know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
So it is true that winning brings everyone together. Though, Bump, you have talked about being in locker rooms at times that have struggled, and it's like, sometimes you're still tight with guys. Still a fun locker room. Either way, though, if someone were to say, well, the Seahawks team is so close, a natural response might be, well, it's pretty easy when you're winning a Super Bowl. However, there's a bit more to the secret sauce. Punter Michael Dixon joined the Ball Magnets podcast and was asked what specifically made the Seahawks locker room so close-knit.
We did this thing called walk and talk. It was kind of implemented this year with the team, and we'd break off into 12 groups of, 6 guys, 5 guys in each group, and there'd be a list of 5 questions, and a coach would kind of lead the questions and ask each guy to answer the question. Thered be like an older guy in each group, some rookies in each group, and it allowed you to hear, different perspectives. And like you'd get a guy like, Cooper Kupp explaining what he does, for example, on his off day and how he prepares mentally. And like a rookie would never really be able to hear his perspective that in depth, throughout the week or in sitting in a normal team meeting. But Mike implemented this walk and talk, and it's touching on the same thing. It's like getting that family feel and allowing everyone to speak up and everyone to have a voice. And I think that was one of the major things that got our team like crazy close this year.
Bump, I feel like it reminded me a bit. I remember this feature that came out through some big outlet, ESPN or Sports Illustrated, I can't remember. It was relatively early in Pete Carroll's tenure, and it was talking about, oh, this is how Pete Carroll's revolutionizing the way he coaches. And they, at the time, were kind of being not teasing, because by then the Seahawks had, I think it was just before 2013, or maybe it was after the Super Bowl winning season. It was clear it was working. But at the time, it was painted as being very unconventional, right? Very granola. Now, hearing an approach like, oh, I make the players do a walk and talk, and they have to pair with different players, and they have to go to guys with different position groups and all that. I feel like what used to be just kind of this dumb, like, okay, you're hearing right now a player say, no, stuff like that can actually be incredibly helpful.
It can. It especially with this generation of football player, or just athlete in general, they're just more. Back in my day, you shut up and you do your job. You don't ask any questions. I don't care if you like that person or not. Whereas now, and that doesn't necessarily mean that was a better way to do it. That's just the way it was done. Whereas this athlete is different. But it does remind me of when I was in college, we did something similar to that, but it was more just sitting around the table getting to know people. And it was the freshman class that was coming in. It was about 20 to 25 of us. And they tried to set you up with a person that isn't from your area that you probably wouldn't know. And they set me up with our kicker, Lauren Langley. Lauren, big ups if you're listening. And because I got to know Lauren in that way, if he were to ever miss a field goal, like I got him, like, hey, Lauren, we good, baby. You know what I'm saying? Whereas other people who didn't have that connection with them will probably, be all upset and throw their hands up and act like they never missed a tackle or dropped a football or whatnot. Naturally, me just knowing more about Lauren made me support him in a different way.
Yeah.
So I think that is what happens here. You can see it as corny, so what? But what are humans? We're social people, right? We're always looking for that connection with somebody. And if you have a football team with 70 guys on your squad, and you can get 70% of them to connect when things are good or bad, they're going to be such in a good place. They'll be able to support each other differently and just believe in that person. So to some old school dudes, it might seem corny.
Yeah.
It obviously worked.
I think it's also interesting. Someone said, remember the Titans, there's historical precedent before Pete Carroll to just like getting guys to talk to very different contexts. But Pete Carroll at the time, I'm talking, 13 years ago, was seen as being a little unconventional. And part of that was the juxtaposition of his age and his energy. So it wasn't just like, oh, player friendly, we've never seen that, or getting guys to talk, we've never seen that. It was one of the oldest coaches in the league, eventually became the oldest, but one of the oldest coaches in the league who was very young and energetic and really into bringing in all these guest speakers and all of that stuff. It was seen as a little bit of new age coaching at the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we'd never seen that kind of approach before, but like I remember reading features about it and reading people being like, wow, this is crazy. He has like psychologists come in and visit and all these speakers. I think it's especially interesting that Mike McDonald, on just the surface, seems like a more old school guy, but that the idea of embracing people from different backgrounds, different types of communications has been so adapted that even a guy that's kind of like, this is how it is like, no, really, though, you have to get to know each other. It's important for culture.
This is where Pete and Mike McDonald are aligned, I think, because you get more of that team bonding stuff in college because you're isolated.
Yeah.
You all go to the same school.
I can see that.
You guys live in the same apartment complex. It's like you're around each other so much more that college coaches put more energy towards that. And that's what Pete Carroll did when he came here. It worked at SC with 2 national championships in 3 years. Like, it worked. And I think Mike McDonald spending time in Michigan, at the University of Michigan, doing that, and then making his way towards the NFL, all you're doing on your journey, you're just grabbing stuff along with you that you like. I'm going to take this, I'm going to take that, I'm going to take that, and I'm going to make it into to my program. That's where Pete and Mike McDonald were the same, is that they saw the importance of making sure guys were connected, because on the college level, it's all about connection.
Speaking of Mike McDonald, he was at the owners' meetings, obviously. So this is sound from that press conference. He was asked about the best part of winning the Super Bowl.
I don't know. You know what's funny is like it's really cool, and I don't really think about it until someone brings it up to me. Like, because you feel like I'm the same person, which is, I think it puts everything in perspective. It's just, why are we actually doing what we do? It's really just like to defend our way of life, that like we can be Seahawks and be great emphasis on people and enjoy the people that we're like, enjoy how we go about our business and the people we're with every day. If we would have lost again, I would have hopefully would have felt the same and felt the same about our team. Like, had the same amount of pride in what we were able to accomplish last year.
So, yeah, you get to defend the culture that you're building there by saying, and look at the results.
It works. The proof's in the pudding.
Yeah.
You want to be a part of this? Come over here to the Seahawks, go on your walk and talks and all that stuff, and buy into it because it works.
Yeah. All right. Still to come. Hype Train coming up at 1:30. What I need to know at 1:45. Get your questions in. 866-979-3776. Some X's and O's with 4 down territory at 1:15. Before any of that, Seahawks.com's John Boyle joins us next.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
I come into this with a lot more confidence. I know who this team is. I know who this management is. I know what they're going to do. Much higher expectations of this team.
Yeah, no question. I just feel like we talked about this during spring training, that there's some question marks, but there's no holes.
There's no excuse not to make the playoffs. Yeah, that's an absolute expectation, not a hope.
Wyman and Bob on the home of the American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewart here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, we met about a decade ago when you came into the studio, and at that point, IRG was humming, but you were not 40 locations strong all over the neighborhood. How have you done this, and why?
Number one, Brock, great people. Our strength here at IRG is our people. Secondly, we are a company that has a culture of giving back and taking care of our patients, taking care of our team, and thirdly, taking care of our community. We want to be your family physical therapist. More importantly, we want to be your family's neighborhood physical therapist. We want you to come in, have a great experience, and get better and get out there and be pain-free and function.
Take care of your friends. Taking care of your neighbors, taking care of your community, and taking care of Western Washington. With over 40 locations now, that's exactly what IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is doing. Find them in person, find them online at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at OurRealSuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only. Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
JP Crawford has been reinstated from the 10-day IL. The Mariners are optioning Ryan Bliss to AAA Tacoma to make room for JP on the 26-man roster. Speaking of the Mariners, they dropped that series finales to the Yankees yesterday. Off day today, extra innings at 7 p.m. hosted by Curtis Rogers. And then tomorrow they begin a series against the Angels at 6:38 p.m. Pregame at 5:30 right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Seahawks.com's John Boyle joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. John, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing great, Stacey. How are you?
Fantastic. I have kind of a weird question to start, which I know I shouldn't say.
Right.
I know. Every single time I say that, including during the huddle. No. It's because this one isn't about the draft, which is in the offseason, which is where
Stacey's
we are going to primarily,
weird, Boyle,
which is where we're going
this.
to primarily focus with you. It's about the culture that you observed in the building. We just listened to Michael Dixon talking about how the walk and talks were really useful for him. He thought it was just a really cool thing that Mike McDonald installed with the team and that it led to some closeness. So I thought it would be fitting to start with you by asking about some of the, I guess, camaraderie that you observed. And when it comes to being a close-knit team, I know winning helps, but what things did you see being that close to the team in terms of how tight this team was?
Yeah, I mean, that obviously we heard players talk about it all year, and especially late in the in the playoff run, that was a big part of their success. And it's interesting because when Mike McDonald came in, they talked about like the culture here is already great. What Pete and John built, and really, I mean, going back all the way to when Paul Allen bought the team and Mike Holmgren, like that team has had really good culture for a long time, and they knew they didn't need to overhaul it, but it's still a new head coach. He's his own guy. And, Leonard Williams, I remember talking about, like, it was an adjustment for guys. Like, Mike's different, his style's a little different. So guys, they didn't bristle against anything, but it was just an adjustment to a new style. And so I think we really saw it come together this year. Those walk and talks, like they said, just the different things they did. I mean, a lot was made of the shadow boxing, which was silly, but it did. I mean, you talk to players, like, as silly as that is, like, it got, defensive linemen hanging out with running backs and specialists hanging out with offensive linemen. Like, you really cause guys to interact across position groups in a way you don't necessarily always see. And to me, that was like when I knew, I mean, I think we all thought the Seahawks had a good chance to win the Super Bowl just based on the way they were playing. But what I felt like, man, this team's really in great shape was that Thursday of media availability when they'd been doing a lot of media and they could have been tired and kind of burnt out. Like that group, they were having so much fun. They were just goofing around, so loose. And it's like, yeah, this team's fine.
I was talking to Stacy Boy, and I said I think that Pete Carroll, because on the college level, you do a lot of these camaraderie things because we're around each other all the time. Like you spend so much time together. So I felt like Pete Carroll understood that and brought that from his time at SC. And then I told Stacy maybe Mike McDonald learned that from his time at Michigan and said, you know what, I got to bring some of that here. So you got two different like eras of athlete, right? Two different generations of athlete. So both of those approaches seem to work, but how different are the athletes from when Pete was here and when Mike McDonald was here?
I mean, I don't know that they're that much different. I guess probably the biggest difference, and you hear, if you talk to like scouts and GMs about this, is like the NIL makes a difference. Or like guys come in, they've made a lot of these they've made some real money in it. They're coming in a little more prepared for real life, and they're not, their life experience has been different because they've been paid the money since they're 18. So I do think that part's but I don't, we're only talking a decade here. I don't think it's some vast generation gap here.
All right, now I want to look ahead to the draft. This is a team looking at 4 picks. I know that John Schneider has had smaller draft classes before with obviously 3, and was that 2021?
21,
yeah, and sticking with those picks. My gut tells me he tries to add more here, but I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you always got to have the right trade partner to do it. So you can't just guarantee, hey, we want to trade back and do it. But yeah, it would make a ton of sense to me if they can, because you're talking about, only 4 picks. If you could move back from 32 into maybe early second round, that could net you, pretty valuable, like day 2 pick, like, later third round, or maybe a couple day 3 picks, something like that. So I think that's something John would love to do if the right trade partner's there. And, a lot of times that 32nd pick can be kind of seen as a pretty valuable one for that 5th-year option. So if there's a team that loves somebody, the classic case is if there's a quarterback sitting there that a team loves, then you might have a chance to go make that trade.
We're trying to figure out what they're going to do, right? No one knows what the Hawks are going to do in this draft.
Of course
right?
not. We never do.
I've seen.
Oh, Stacey does. Okay.
She's got the inside. I just lean on her for all that. We've seen mock drafts. Stacey and I talked about a mock draft today. We saw, okay, you got a running back at 32, DB at whatever, an edge at whatever, and they're addressing some possible needs in the draft. But we've also heard John say they tried to get away from going with needs and best player. What do you think we see this draft? Do you think we see a little bit of both? Do you think we go just needs, best player? Just what does your gut tell you?
Yeah, I mean, look, need is they're great because like part of how they grade guys is, where does this guy fit into our roster? How is he going to compete? So, when you say like don't draft for need and stick with their board, they truly are sticking with their board sometimes when it might fit a need, so to speak, because that can affect the player's grade. Like, I'm lucky enough for some stories we do to be in the draft room while the Saints are picking quite a bit. And like they truly have these past few drafts when I've been there just guys have graded. I mean, last year it was like Gray Zabel and Nicky Manmory were both right up there for them. And, they were really fortunate to get both thanks to that trade. But I think, this is obviously, I mean, they just won a Super Bowl. This is obviously a great roster and they don't have tons of holes. I mean, running back sticks out with Kenneth Walker leaving it. There's guys available probably in the later rounds and still in free agency, and they really like the guys they have as well. So I don't think they go into this draft with, I mean, even compared to last year, like you knew you needed a starting guard and you hadn't signed one yet. So it seemed pretty obvious we're really hoping to find one in the draft outside of maybe running back and, maybe cornerback if you want some more competition there. There aren't a lot of positions where it's like you got to find a starter or you're in trouble.
Also ahead of the draft are the owners' meetings. We were all able to hear a bit from Mike McDonald at this one. Anything stand out to you from those conversations?
Yeah, it's kind of stood out as like how quiet of an off season. That was sort of when I got there. I was like, man, there are all the coaches are at these tables, and all the NFC goes one day, all the AFC goes the other day. It's like you think, oh, this team's coming off Super Bowl. Everybody wants to talk to Mike McDonald, but his table was not that busy because it's just like pretty ho hum off season after last year when they're making big trades and signing some big name free agents. So one thing I really liked hearing was the way Mike McDonald talked about like the approach this season of like kind of going against John Schneider kind of throughout the phrase. I don't think he was put much thought into it, but throughout the phrase, let's run it back at the combine. And Mike McDonald's like, well, no, we're not running anything back. We're not defending anything. Like this is a new season. Even if there's a lot of same players, it's a new team. It'll be a new vibe. And they got to, start everything over if they're going to be the team they want to be. They can't just assume they're going to keep rolling off the last year. And I like that approach for them. And I think it'll be a good way to start their offseason.
Boyle, are you allowed in the draft room?
Yeah, I just said that, but
I'm sorry. I was taking.
Were you taking notes? You were multitasking on the internet.
I was.
So yes, I'm kind of in and out of there between the media room and the draft room.
Okay.
So yes, I'm in there.
So what have you seen a difference between a Pete Carroll draft room and a Mike McDonald draft room? What you can tell us?
I mean, a little bit. It's John's show, so it hasn't changed that much. I mean, maybe the music's a little louder with Pete in there or something. It's not a lot though, because really, I mean, Pete was obviously involved, and so was Mike. But the draft, especially, that's John, and that's his personnel guys running that room. So I don't think there's much of a difference, really. I mean, nothing I could really point to right now, other than again maybe Pete cranks the music up a little more, but that'd be about it.
Same number of polos and khakis, though. I would assume
there's
a pretty big carryover. That's kind of the standard. The draft look is like, look, we're business, but we're a sports franchise, so there's a quarter zip.
There you go.
You gotta let
there are teams you see those draft rooms and they're like in full suits. It's like that looks like a really uncomfortable way.
Right, and you have to do that for this is a long day for you, man.
3 days.
No, thank you.
Thanks. I'm glad that's not the Seahawks vibe.
Yeah, absolutely not. We also heard a little bit about Torrey Horton. I know that we don't have clarifying information on that, but were you a little bit surprised to hear he was still looking at a longer timeline, and B, what kind of role are you personally expecting for him in 2026 now that they do have a great special teamer with Rashid Shaheed too?
Yeah, it's been, I mean, there's no way around it. It's been kind of a weird injury. We thought, it was like, oh, he's going to be on IR for, 4+ weeks and be back. And then whatever it is, it just didn't calm down. And, no one's really given the specifics. But, I mean, the good news is it sounds like they'll use him into the spring stuff, but he should be ready by camp. In terms of his role, I think I was really excited to see, John Schneider mentioned is like those two, Rashid and Torrey Horton, that's a ton of speed, and they never got to see them together. So it'll be interesting to see, with this offense, we don't know how much it'll change. We assume it'll be pretty schematic. As much 3 receivers have last. So, be a role for both. Against the expense of Cooper Kupp, but I think Rashid Shaheed with a full off season with Sam Darnold and with the offense will have a bigger role as well. But yeah, I mean that's rounding out like a really deep, really good position group for them, especially bringing Bobo back, where it's now you've got like 5 really good guys that can help you in different ways and that have played meaningful football for you.
One of the we heard Mike talk about this. One of the problems with success is that your coaches are going to get better opportunities, which is fine, right? But selfishly, you want to keep them. My question is, what's the role of AD? Do you feel like he's going to get more responsibility? And I feel like he's probably the next one who's going to get snatched.
Yeah. I mean, Mike's kind of looked at this like it's only a matter.
All right, we're going to see if we can, let's reconnect with Boyle maybe. Give him a call back and we'll see if we can fix that connection. Boyle, stop walking around.
That's that VMAC. VMAC will jack your reception up, man.
Yeah, you're out there for your, does it just signal? It's
certain spots, certain pockets. They probably do it on purpose so you can't communicate.
Yeah, ooh, that's what it is. That's why I couldn't totally hear him when he started talking about being in the war room. All of a sudden we can't hear what he's saying and he's like, oh, that's what they're doing.
Is he calling from the war room?
Is he calling from the war room? Do we have Boyle back? Boyle, are you calling from the war room, and is that why the VMAC is trying to mess up your signal?
You want to know why?
Yeah.
Okay, it's because I decided the last minute to take a day off and go skiing. So I'm currently on a mountain. So I didn't want to stand you guys up. So I tried to find some good service, and I thought I found a good spot on the mountain with
That's
good
even
service.
better, honestly.
Oh, that's
what mountain
really
are you
funny.
on?
I'm at Crystal Mountain.
Let's go.
Oh, well, we hope that you enjoy your time with your family. Do you have time for just 2 or 3 more questions before we let you go?
I got plenty of time for you, yes.
I did like Bump's theory about they're trying to keep you from saying too much about the team.
Yeah.
You've got the intel, and they're trying to shut it down.
Where'd you lose me? What were we talking about?
We were talking about, we talked about Torrey Horton's role, and then we were talking about...
AD.
AD, yes. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I do think it probably is a matter of time for him. So, I mean, obviously they need to keep winning for that to happen, but I mean, just players love him, and he's such a good coach. Responsibility-wise, I would think when you have the play caller, whichever side of the ball it is, head coach, I think the coordinator tends to not get the credit they deserve because, they're still super involved in everything going on all week, the game planning, so much stuff. So it's not like, oh, he's just, underneath Mike McDonald not doing anything. He's doing a ton, and I do think he's going to be gone sooner than later if this team keeps winning.
I know you mentioned it being a pretty quiet offseason for Seattle, and it is. Really, their biggest thing was going to be like, hey, we have to pay these 2 massive contracts out. So that's kind of our big moves. That being said, they did make a couple additions, even if they were quiet. Is there one that's maybe especially intriguing to you where you think, yeah, this could come into play here?
Yeah, I mean, all those guys, given the position where they were signed, like they all have a real shot to have a role. The safety, Rodney Thomas, I got out of Indianapolis. He's a guy that, when we've heard like John Schneider on the radio and some of the scouts, like they seem really high on his skill set, really versatile guy. And obviously with Kobe leaving, there's opportunity at that position, whether, for him, D'Anthony Bell, Ty Okada. And another guy, not newcomer, but Mike McDonald was excited about is AJ Finley. We saw him get hurt, pretty nasty injury during training camp, but they were really liking him before that. So he's going to be in the mix of safety too. That's going to be an interesting group.
I forgot about AJ Finley. Yeah, he was doing some good stuff. They had a good group of safeties at one point though, didn't they?
Yeah, no, and I think they still do. I mean, obviously you hate to lose Kobe, but like Ty Okada was awesome when he played last year, and you got Julian Love to lead that group, and we'll see if they change up what Eamon Warry does with it all. I mean, I don't know that you need to, as good as he was at that nickel role, but he's someone you could do more safety stuff with as well. So really intriguing group, a lot of like different types of versatile players.
I gave the Hawks some love when it comes to doing something honorable, and I love that D'Anthony Bell got himself a ring, man. What was the talk around that? Yeah,
no, I hadn't heard that till I saw it reported, but that's good for him. I mean, he was a big part of what they did. And, we talk all the time about the 70-man roster and how they, count, they see everyone as part of the team. And part of that, though, is kind of some roster juggling of some games they'd get a guy active and then they'd move him to the practice squad. And when you do that with good players, you do risk losing them. They lost Jarek Reed to waivers as well, and they lost Anthony Bell. So when Anthony Bell re-signed, he talked about it was a little bittersweet. Obviously, you want to be wanted, and it's nice the team wants to come get you, but you missed out on those big games down the stretch in the Super Bowl, and he would have been a part of that. I mean, he was a great special teams player. So, A, they're excited to have him back, and B, from that report that they're doing right by him, that's good to hear.
Last question is probably the most important here. I'm sorry, I saved it for the end. What's happening to the Tower of Impaled Helmets? Is that going somewhere?
I don't know. I hope that.
Get on that.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to keep it in the meeting room, if they're going to, put it on display in the lobby of the VMAC. I don't know.
Put that thing in the Hall of Fame.
It should be in the Hall of Fame, but also it's like you want simultaneously the mentality of like, hey, we're starting fresh, new year, right? You can't think you're at the top of the mountain.
What if it's the defending champions, they run out of the tunnel with it along with the 12th leg?
And then Tama flies off of it.
They got to roll that thing out.
I'll see if anyone likes that idea. I'm guessing not. If they're not the defending champs, I don't know if Michael liked that idea.
Okay, when you get back, please find out what's happening with the Tower of Helmets and get back to us.
I will get into that for you.
Okay, go enjoy your day on the mountain. We'll talk to you later.
I will. Thank you. Bye.
Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
Would you display that in your house if Mike was like, we don't know what to do with this?
If I had Mike McDonald money and really vaulted ceilings and a lot of space.
Like a Christmas tree?
For sure.
First Down, tell us about hopeful draft pick Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame.
Jadarian Price, 5'11", 209 pounds, had 674 yards, but don't let that fool you. 11 touchdowns, 6 yards per carry, and 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown. He has this deceptive speed. You feel like he's not pulling away from guys, but it's just the way his body looks, right? He's a thicker running back, but he will make you miss. His lateral movement is elite. Him and Love in the backfield last year were the best combo in football, and he has explosive runs. Runs a 58, 40, 32, and a bunch of other 20s. This dude is special. The way he presses the line of scrimmage and has that lateral movement to bounce outside, he's gone. And once he gets outside, it is a wrap. Not too many people are going to tackle him, but he will also run through you as well. He's a running back that can do a little bit of everything. If Love had graduated or whatnot, I think he'd be getting the love that Love is getting. If he were on another team, a Power 4 team, I think he would be getting the love.
Overshadowed a little bit because of the proximity to the top prospect.
Exactly. But, hey, Notre Dame must have been cutting him a nice little check because he stayed there.
Second down. All right, tell us about a cornerback prospect you really like.
Chris Johnson. He's a DB out of San Diego State. Mountain West Co-Defensive Player of the Year, second-team All-American. He had 4 interceptions, and 2 of those interceptions went for a touchdown. He's a zone master. All of his interceptions came when he was playing zone. What makes him good at zone is that he's good with his eyes. He recognizes combos, and when he gets downhill, he goes. He plays with that Devin Witherspoon chip on his shoulder. You see DBs, they're probably the loudest talkers on the football field, but this one has the body movement to go with it. You know when Spoon makes a play, like all his limbs are everywhere, his neck is moving, he's just passionate in what he does. That's what I see out of Chris Johnson. But what I appreciate about him in zone is that he's patient when he passes the routes off to his safeties. But when he makes a decision, he is going and he is downhill right now. This is a guy that I didn't even know about until maybe 3 or 4 days ago when I started breaking down corners and edges and all that good stuff. But Chris Johnson out of San Diego State. I wish he was here one more year so I can cover him in the new Pac-12. But it's all good, man. Mountain West Co-Defensive Player of the Year. Check this young man out if you haven't already.
Third down. What's something innovative from the new Professional Flag League?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So what they're going to do is they are going to have traveling stadiums, more like tents. I would imagine it's like a big circus tent or something like
Firefest.
What's that?
What's Firefest?
Oh, is that Ja Rule's deal?
Bob.
What's Firefest?
Firefest, that whole thing that was supposed to be that massive music festival on a private island with with like a lot of people. Yeah. They promised to have these like really cool tents.
Yeah.
And then they didn't.
And then they had bootleg sandwiches and stuff.
Yeah, so I hope that's not what happens here.
You know what? It's not, because the NFL's giving them $32 million.
Oh, that's a lot.
And they've raised $160 million through other avenues. So
they're solid.
They should be good. But no, I like the public. It's going to save you some money because you don't have to go to Lumen and say, all right, we're only going to have about 5,000 people. Can you cut us a heck of a deal? They're still in the business of making money, all these stadiums across the country. So, no, I think it's going to be profitable. In the league, I think it's going to be better or more profitable than the UFL because it's you have more of the average man and woman that could play this game. I mean, it's fast and it's exciting. I think with the Olympics coming around in 2028, with the Fanatics game that we just saw with U.S. team beating some of these pros, there's a real market for this. And girls flag football is one of the most exciting sports that I can watch from 8 to 20-something. These women be getting after. So I love where the game is going. I think it's in a good place. And I'm happy to hear that there's investment in this league and that they're going to do some smart things, some innovative things, and try something new.
Totally agree. Great call out for girls flag as well, which is
so fun
massive
to watch.
in Washington
I follow
State.
like 5 flag football athletes, and every time they post something new, I'm on it.
Deserves more love. Fourth down. What appeal do you feel won't amount to anything, yet you think it does have some legs?
All right, so Pablo Torre broke the news about collusion in the NFL a few years back. And the NFL won in court. So now NFLPA, they're going to try to appeal it. Apparently, they must have more evidence of collusion going down. Listen, the NFL execs say they already expect a favorable decision, and they're probably going to get it. The NFLPA, they're going to point to, in 2022, the owners had their meeting, and they feel like they talked about Deshaun Watson. Deshaun had that 5-year, completely guaranteed deal, and we know where he is now. The Cleveland ownership, the management, put so much pressure on the rest of the league by signing this deal that you think they didn't sit down and have a drink or a cocktail and say, listen, y'all tripping over there. Why are you paying X amount of dollars guaranteed? We know how this league is. Guys get hurt all the time. Let's get that guaranteed money, but tighten it up a little bit. We saw Kirk Cousins get a bunch of guaranteed money. We're seeing more guaranteed money in this league, but $200-something million guaranteed. It's impossible for there to be no collusion. It's impossible for these dudes to sit down and not bring it up. What evidence do you have? You got recordings, you got video, you have transcripts. What do you have? And the NFLPA must feel like they have something, or they're just going through the process. You know, when some people appeal knowing they're not going to get it, or 80% chance they're not going to get the appeal, but they just go through it. So I don't know, man. It's collusion definitely went down, but I don't think anything's going to come from this.
Or maybe the NFLPA is trying to get back in the good graces of its own players, because there was the conversations and agreements and everything that they had with the league that then they didn't bring up with players. So they've been accused of having a massive lack of transparency. So now they're like, okay, well, now we're going to be good with you guys. Now we're on your side again. We represent players. Someone said, so the league will spend $32 million to promote flag football, but won't spend a third of that to make sure it has competent officials.
So let me, a correction.
Yes.
Each team contributed $1 million. So you got $32 million from the 32 teams.
Okay, I thought you were going to say, so I thought it was that the league didn't want to pay more for refs. And I was like, why not just make them full-time? What are we doing here? But then I heard that it's that the refs don't want to have to be full-time and give up other jobs that they have. Now I need to do more digging.
Is that what it is?
No, I need to look up the original Kevin Seifert article where he has more information because he would know.
Yeah,
obviously.
homework for tomorrow then.
But yeah, I think, unfortunately for the league, I just kind of assumed this was a money thing where they didn't want to pay refs. And I'm assuming that was something to do with the first iteration of replacement referees.
It sounds like the refs obviously want more money. Or they have a strike.
Oh, for sure.
Why else would they be in the situation?
Well, or they're probably saying what it could also be is we don't want to agree to be completely full-time and not have these other jobs if you're not going to agree to increase our pay. Because if I'm getting, $250,000 from you, but I make, $400,000 because of my other job, well, now you're asking me to dock half my pay by being full-time.
I know a ref, I don't know his name, but he's a referee on the weekends and a doctor during the week.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's good money. First of all, that's a lot of hours.
It sure is.
But it's good money, and it's probably someone saying, well, this career I have, I went to school for this. I got a lot of money from this. And
pay up.
So technically you're asking me to take a pay cut if you're making me totally full-time.
And you made over $20 billion last year. Goodness
think you
gracious.
can pay refs a little bit more. I think you probably can. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know coming up at 1:45, 866-979-3776. Hype Train coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
I come into this with a lot more confidence. I know who this team is. I know who this management is. I know what they're going to do. Much higher expectations of this team.
Yeah, no question. I just feel like we talked about this during spring training that there's some question marks, but there's no holes.
There's no excuse not to make the playoffs. Yeah, that's an absolute expectation, not a hope.
Wyman and Bob on the home of the American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
When I go to a dealership, I don't want to be pushed into buying something. Sometimes I just want to look around, test drive, and check out new features. When I went to Wayscar Ford in Auburn, they got that. There was no pressure. It actually turned out to be a fun experience because they were genuinely excited to show me the cool features on newer models. They only want to sell you a car if you want to buy one. And the thing I want most is to be able to trust the person I'm working with. A new car is a huge investment. It's the second largest thing next to a house that most people will ever buy. So yeah, I want to make sure I'm buying from a reputable place. I want a warranty, and I want to make sure I'm covered if, for any reason, I change my mind. Wayscar Ford has that. A 5-day or 500-mile, no questions asked, 100% money-back guarantee. There's a reason they've been in Auburn for 104 years. Go see them. Wayscar Ford in Auburn. That's wayscarford.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. No!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still. You're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026. Taxes, fees, extra.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hi, Sarah here with Safeway. We're proud to partner with Champions of Change co-founder Doug Baldwin to help nourish Washington students through the Nourishing Champions program.
Thanks, Sarah. And here's the reality. Every day, students across our state are staying after school for extracurriculars on empty stomachs, and some of them don't know where their next meal will come from. Food insecurity is reaching crisis levels, and the impact on our youth will extend far beyond this moment. The good news is that there's an answer in the federally funded after-school meals programs. But right now, Washington schools' participation is very low, reaching only 2% of the students who qualify.
That's where Nourishing Champions comes in. We're offering grants that not only fund food, but also resource and training support for the schools to offer an after-school meal program for years to come.
Our goal is to reach 10,000 more students in the first year of these grants and then grow from there. School staff can learn more and apply today at championsofchangefoundation.org and navigating to the Nourishing Champions tab. That's championsofchangefoundation.org and click on the Nourishing Champions tab.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What I need to know coming your way in 15 minutes. Get your questions in right now. 866-979-3776. Any question, text it now. Let's head to the station for Hype Train. Mariners getting ready for 6 on the road here. 3 against the Angels, 3 against the Rangers before they're back in Seattle. First Hype Train, the Mariners return home from the road trip with a winning record.
The Rangers is 4-2 right now, second in the AL West. Man, we got to watch out for those guys. They played Philly. Philly's supposed to be pretty good this year. Won that series. The Orioles, who knows with them, right? One year they're good, one year they're not. And I know they're going to take the Angels. So I'm going with good vibes. I think the road trip is going to help the boys. They're going to get together, have some drinks, talk about life, do a walk and talk, and everything's going to be fine.
I almost said do a walk and talk.
Good for the Seattle Mariners.
Good for the Seattle Mariners.
I'm on this train, baby.
Bump is boarding this train. The Mariners return. Where's his train horn?
Oh, this is good for the Seattle Mariners.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Okay.
The Mariners return home from their road trip with a winning record. Bump is boarding. Curtis, are you?
So I think they take this Angels series. They take at least 2 of 3 from the Angels. That Rangers series, though, they're expected starters in that one. Jacob deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi, Mackenzie Gore.
A hater in our
midst.
That's
not bad. Or it's not good for the Mariners, I should say.
You're going to say no. Curtis, just say no.
I'm not boarding this train. I think they go 500. I think they go 3-3. Mix of 2 wins in the Angel series, maybe a win in the Rangers series.
Come back here, 1 below.
Yeah, I think 1 below.
Yeah, I think they sweep the Angels and take 2 or 3.
You just got to win 1 more after that.
Yeah. So, yes, I'm boarding.
Good for the Seattle Mariners.
Mostly to hear that again. That's how I'm going to be honest. Is my primary reason. But yeah, I think they can. I think they do. I think that they do. Sports analysis. Next up. Buster Olney thinks that we'll see Colt Emerson before May 15th or by May 15th. But Colt Emerson, we think he could be up before Mother's Day.
When's Mother's Day?
It's May 10th, and mostly this is also a reminder for everyone that Mother's Day is on May 10th. Do you think we'll see Colt Emerson up before Mother's Day on May 10th?
I always got to be reminded about Mother's Day and Father's Day, honestly. Before May 10th. Cole's playing good at second. JP we haven't seen yet. Donovan can be moved around. I think because of the uncertainty of JP that we will see him before May 10th. I'm on that thing.
Colt Emerson is up before Mother's Day, which is May 10th. Bump is boarding. Curtis, or you?
I'll board this train. Yeah, I think he's up before then. We did get the news that JP is back with the team. He'll be on this road trip. He's been reinstated, so he's off the IL now. But, I mean, who knows how healthy that shoulder is ultimately. He could be barking still. But I think Colt Emerson is one of the 26 best players in the Mariners organization, and you're doing yourself a disservice by not having him up with the Major League roster. So I think Colt Emerson will be up before Mother's Day. That's why we're boarding that train.
I'm boarding as well. I think that maybe I'd be a little more on the fence if they hadn't just given him that contract, and giving him that contract is a long-term outlook on Colt, right? It doesn't mean that it's because they need him right now and they're bringing him up, but I just, all of it together, right? 2 + 2. It kind of feels like it's just going to be a relatively early debut.
You ever see that that meme when two women are talking? They're like, I have a tattoo that says 1 + 1 = 11. You ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either, but they're like, oh, I love that. You know when people, those memes are, I love that. You're like,
you don't,
what
and you
does
don't.
it mean?
Yeah, or you just find something to compliment about someone for no reason.
Yeah.
We used to do, when I, one of my first jobs out of college was working in a designer store, and you greet someone at the door, and it's how you also signal to other people that that's your person you're working with, so you get the commission based on what you sell them. You have to check in on them, whatever.
Get dibs.
Yeah, so you're calling dibs when someone walks in by greeting them. First person to greet them is usually who, right? So, but they encourage you. We did this exercise where you have to try different ways to greet. And so they encourage you to be like, oh my God, I love your sweater. Oh my God, purple pants. I love that. So just know when someone compliments you when you walk into a designer store, they're calling dibs on you. And also, look.
You know what I don't do? Walk into designer stores.
I don't either, so.
I'm going to do it just to see who greets me, though, one time.
Next up, the Seahawks actually pick at 32.
No, not on this train. I think John's going to have to work some magic, because you get better picks if you try to flip 32. After that, it gets a bit tough. And I don't want a bunch of picks in like the 6th round or whatnot. Granted, you can find some ballers out there, not hating on guys in the 6th round. I wasn't drafted. But no, I don't think they're going to pick at 32. I think every one of interest is going to be gone, and he's going to try to make 4 and a 6.
The Seahawks actually pick at 32. Bump is not boarding. Curtis, are you?
Not boarding. I think they move down. I think that's the most likely of scenarios. Wouldn't mind a trade up for Jeremiah Love. I just don't see that happening. I think they move down, pick early in the 2nd round, hold on to pick 64 as well. So you got 2 2nd-round picks. Maybe pick up a 4th or a 5th rounder along the way as well. I don't think the Seahawks feel comfortable sitting with only one pick on day 3. I think that's kind of where they've seen a lot of value come their way. So I think they try to pick up a day 3 pick too.
Yeah, I agree. I think they trade back. I don't think they pick it all on day 1. So all aboard that train. Next up, April is the best sports month.
Ooh, what we got? We got the Masters in April. We got NCAA championship, men and women. You got UEFA's Champions League going down, CONCACAF. You got baseball going down as well. Even though football's...
You have to sell yourself on
NBA.
it.
The NBA is going on.
He's not selling himself on it.
I'm just telling you what's
Stacey,
going down.
You sound desperate to try to get... It's May, actually, because that's my birthday
No, it's not
month.
May. It's not May. May's not about sports. May's about me. Okay?
Is,
and Matt.
It's April.
And Matt.
It's April.
It's not April.
It's April for sure.
Not
Even though football's not involved, I got so many things to choose from in April.
Wrong answer.
I'm good to go.
April is the best sports month. Bump, for some reason, is boarding. Curtis.
Facts. Boarding this train.
Now, you're only boarding because it's your birth month.
And it's objectively the best sports month, too.
So much going on.
Yeah.
I think it depends.
I didn't even mention tennis.
Now, okay.
The Rolex Monte Carlo?
You have less to choose from in September heading into October. However, there is nothing more exciting than the start of the NFL season, college football, while nearly playoff baseball is going on. I'm sorry, but September is the best sports month. Yeah, you don't have
like
to
you're selling
master.
yourself on it.
No, how am I selling
yourself on
Sorry,
it?
Curtis. Last time I checked, what's the most watched league in the country? What's the most watched television program in the country?
You know what else?
America
is in,
loves
you know what
football.
else is in April? The NFL draft. There you go.
Oh, that's another one,
thrill.
too.
Oh, what's going to
Bam.
happen at 32? I
Yeah.
can't wait to see the Seahawks sit around for 4 hours and not do anything.
Stop. You're going to be
There's
glued
no
to
way.
it the entire
You
time.
don't know me, Curtis.
I absolutely know
No way
you.
you're pooping on the draft right now.
Okay,
Where is
fine.
it this year? Is it in Green Bay or Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Fine. No,
You got
April.
the Boston
April
Marathon,
is
too?
April's a good sports month.
Come
It's a
on,
great
man.
sports month, some would argue. Is it the best sports month?
FIFA
No.
World Cup?
And you know what we're really
Come on,
overlooking
man.
here that I'm frankly offended? I'm sorry. Does April have pumpkin spice lattes? No. And I know that that's cheating because that's incorporating something not sports.
You got the Professional Squash League?
But
Come
now
on,
you're
man.
You don't mean what you're saying
April
right
is
now.
active right now.
You don't mean what
You're just not
saying.
a sports
Name
connoisseur
one
like
team.
myself.
Name one team in the professional and the PSL. Speaking of pumpkin spice
Yeah, I was gonna
lattes,
say.
The
name
London-
one
the
team.
London
One team.
Londoners.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Next one. This one, we're trying to
This is
think of a food
another
one here.
opinion where Stacey's going to tell us we're wrong on.
The best Mexican food comes from taco trucks.
Oh, for sure, because you got your tia and your tío, your abuelita, abuelito, your prima, your primos in there grinding for that money, especially the ones that only accept cash. You only accept cash? Oh, yeah. I'm rocking with you.
If I pay on a Square app on your phone, that's the best food I'm ever going to have. The best Mexican food comes from taco trucks. Bump is boarding, Curtis.
I'm going to say it comes from the hole-in-the-wall Mexican restaurants.
Okay, some of which are
Family
very
owned.
successful taco trucks that
Shout
then
out,
turn into...
Shout out to Garcia's in Auburn, a great place
Yeah.
that my family likes to frequent. Los Cabos as well. Yeah. That's where I think the best Mexican food comes from, is a hole-in-the-wall restaurant.
God, my favorite thing used to be this taco truck that was right next to, down the block from our house when I was in college, and then it became a restaurant. That's how successful it was. It's still like the best I've ever had. So I'm
A
going to
lot
say
of those-
yes because it was born of a taco
A lot
truck.
of those hole-in-the-wall restaurants have taco trucks, too.
Yeah.
They double up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not like the chain
The best
ones.
sports month, however, is still September.
You know what
and
we didn't even
guys are
mention?
wrong.
We didn't even mention hockey. Hockey in April. Stacey,
Hockey in October.
you're outnumbered.
Hockey in
Hockey's
October
not-
is like the start of the
it's-
season.
Well,
It's like the
hey,
first week of
if we're
baseball.
talking
Stanley
about
Cup
baseball,
playoffs are pretty
if you're
incredible.
mentioning baseball here, it's the first week of the season.
No, it's not. We'll be at end of the month. We'll be about 25, 30 games in.
Okay, end of the month, you're going to be about 10 games in. Look, I understand what you guys are saying. You're trying to make a point. and you're
Baseball
doing
knows
it
how to do
beautifully.
opening day better than any sport.
That is true.
Facts.
That is true. I stand by September. It's because I like fall so much. I'm going to be honest. That is
We know.
the way that you said that. The way that you said that was, I didn't like it. I didn't like the way that
You know
it
what
came
I mean.
across. I know what you're saying. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776.
Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
The Mariners have signed their best prospect, Colt Emerson, young shortstop, just 20 years old, yet to play a game in the big leagues. 8 years, $95 million guaranteed. There are some wins in here for the player, and I think a lot of wins in here for the team as well.
It's a win for the player to make generational money, and it's a win for the organization that if he becomes half the player that you believe he can become, that deal is going to be very favorable to your budget.
On Seattle Sports.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Meet the company electrifying the marine industry. ARC, a fully electric boat that feels like a luxury EV. Significantly less maintenance and service, ARC boats are easy to operate and maintain. Go to arcboats.com/demo. ARC, you have to see it to believe it.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Seattle Sports has your last shot to participate in the madness. Head to seattlesports.com/win to fill out your 4-team bracket. It's one final chance to join in on the Seattle Sports Bracket Bucks, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. And the winner of the 4-team competition will win a $250 Visa gift card. Register and find complete rules at seattlesports.com/win. Seattle Sports Bracket Bucks, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of fella who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Yeah! Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Tax free edition only. Roughly 37% of filings qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. How this is tax.
Love that jam. Up next, commercials.
Intuit TurboTax Free Edition. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Any question top of mind now that we're at the close of today's show, text it in. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. Did you know that at T-Mobile Park, by the way, they did Carrots from the Clouds as an April Fool's joke?
Oh, that's jacked up.
So I know. So they did like this fake FCC warning where they're like, oh, we can't do hot dogs from heaven anymore. So now it's carrots from the clouds. It was actual carrots that they dropped down. Someone said what I need to know. If you had been there last night for carrots from the clouds and one was coming your way, would you have put in the effort to grab it?
If it's within arm's reach, yes. But I'm not moving out of my little
I think that's
radius.
the receiver in you. Like, it's just like your hands have to be like, I have to catch this.
Yeah. If it's around me, I'm catching. But I'm not like jumping over kids and moving adults out the way.
Yeah. I just, I was going to say overrated vegetable. Just, I don't know why I thought to say that. It's just the thing that happens to my body where I start having a take about carrots. That's dumb. But no, I wouldn't have. Oh, that's disappointing. It's disappointing. I'd be hot.
I'd be hot.
Carrots from, and then you hear the music and you're like, oh my God, it's happening. What I need to know. This person has a what's better type question, but I'm going to reframe it for you guys. You have to choose one to live in forever. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Cloudy, 70 degrees, or sunny, but 55 degrees. And that's where you live forever.
70 degrees all day.
Cloudy, overcast, everything's gray.
Yeah, but 70?
Yeah, if you wear sunglasses, you look dumb.
I'll take that.
Okay.
I don't mind. Cloudy doesn't bother me at all.
See, you think sunny for mood, though? I'm happier when it's sunny.
55, so you want to live in like Colorado, Denver. It's always sunny but cold over there.
Yeah. Curtis, what about you? You have to live in one forever.
I do love the sun.
I do love the sun.
But
It's already 55 here. That's
70
balmy.
degrees.
70? I can still wear a hoodie if it's 70.
I think I might go 70 degrees.
Okay. Isaac and Everett says, is it okay office etiquette to cut a donut in half?
Yeah, we do it all the time here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
No, because you're just going to eat the full donut anyway.
No, I don't think always.
Yeah, always.
I think sometimes
yes.
if there's one maple bar and you go up and you cut it into thirds to be polite so other people can have a maple bar.
How about, what I don't like is when people just take a knife to every donut. So just cut the donut that you're going to eat.
Okay.
Don't cut them all.
Well, if I bring
Okay.
the donuts and I want to cut
That's
the donuts in
somebody
half,
being
then
cheap. I only brought 6, okay? I'm going to make this into 12.
no, what it is me cutting all the donuts in half because I want to try every donut, but I don't want every donut.
Cut the donuts that you're going to
This
eat,
is
not
Curtis
everyone's
talking
donut.
about me
You're
cutting
not,
donuts.
You
I'm a donut cutter. I just admit it.
cut
It's who
all
I
of them?
am.
You don't
Yes, she
really cut all of them.
does.
That's you doing that?
She goes Freddy Krueger on it.
Okay.
Edward Scissorhands.
Why are we? First of
Yeah.
all, I'm bringing the donuts 90% of the time, and
Why,
if I just
though?
want to try all the flavors,
Why are you bringing the
because I want to
donuts?
try all the flavors. I
No.
want to try them out.
No,
One person gets the Flintstones donut. One person. That's hardly
Stacey,
fair.
First off, you don't try all the donuts out. You don't eat donuts.
This would be like
that.
a cheat day if I just want like a little bite of a donut. I just want to try, but I'm not going to pick
No.
it up and bite it because I'm not a monster. But I'll cut it in half, and then everyone gets to try all the donuts. It works for everyone that way.
Dude, I never try all the donuts. That's my go-to, and I'll stick with that.
What I need to know. What do you think would be the most fun game show to host? Like, what's like the best game show gig? They said if you could be the creator and host of a game show, but
Family
that's
Feud.
too complicated.
Family Feud.
Gotta be.
Gotta be Family Feud.
Then you get to talk to people.
The
when you're
easiest
growing up.
one would be Wheel of Fortune, because you really don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Because the contestants are one spinning the wheel, and Vanna's changing the letter tiles.
Yeah. Who do you have in the NBA Finals?
The West, I hope. I mean, obviously, my Lakers are the 3 seed right now. I think they're probably a second round exit. I hope it's the Spurs. I want OKC to get knocked off. I want Wemby to get to the finals on the
And win
West.
MVP.
On the East, I would love. You know what? I would love for the Knicks to do it, but they've been tripping lately. I would love for the Knicks to get there. It's been that fan base has been struggling.
Curtis, what about you?
Celtics have Jason Tatum back.
Yeah.
Well, and the Pistons are without Cade Cunningham right now. What has he got, a collapsed lung?
Something like that.
Seems
What's up with everyone getting collapsed lungs from treatment for
that's the new
needling?
thing. That's the new hotness. Is
That's
last update is that he's out at least another week with a collapsed lung.
someone's accused me of donut socialism.
Yeah.
If anything, it's
that's
donut
true. That's fair.
communism. Yeah. 866-979-3776. If the 3 Seattle sports shows were competing in pub trivia, which show is the favorite and which one definitely finishes
Clearly,
last?
we're the favorite.
Yes.
Curtis.
Competes by himself.
Then you with your pop culture, and I'll know some random stuff every now and then.
Yeah, I think we are mopping the floor.
And then Matt's gonna roll with us because
Well, Matt's got movies too.
And you never know, there might be like a Lord of the Rings.
He's not,
No, I
that's not
know.
his
Doctor Who.
fandom.
Doctor
Yeah.
Whom.
Yeah,
If there's a Doctor Who category, we
It's
win.
over. It's game over.
pretty
Marvel, anything. Matt's going to have us covered. Yeah, I think we have the most diverse array of knowledge. If anything comes up about the Summer House scandal, I've got it.
We're toast if the categories are like
80s music.
rock.
Yeah. Then Salk's going to just dominate.
Bob too, man.
Bob, too. I just
Wyman
think,
doesn't seem like an 80s, like he doesn't like a music type of guy.
I think with Brock and Salk and Wyman and Bob, there's a little more overlap in interests.
Yeah.
And so I think that they're, depending on the category, they either mop the floor with us.
Yeah,
or they're
Seinfeld
left out.
quotes. We would
Exactly.
Be out on.
We're done.
The Bible for 300. Rock. Got him.
He's gonna crush it. He's Book of David done. Dang it! I took Bible as literature.
Did you?
David's
Yeah.
not a book in the Bible. He's a
I was
character.
making a joke.
He's a guy.
He's an important guy.
At least he
Not a
said
book
it
in
before
the
the
Bible.
texters got you.
Book
You know,
of
some
Revelations. Right? That's a book. What other books are there? James? Is there a James? There's so many names. Just pick a name. Is there a Kevin? Book
No.
of Kevin?
Hey, Bob says he's crushing Salt.
I think it depends on the category.
In music.
Is he talking about 80s?
But Bob is a musician.
He is. That's true.
Yeah.
And a good one.
Yeah.
But I want to know where they draw the line with like.
I might go with Bob just because of that. Because if you're a musician, like, you appreciate. I
Mm.
feel like when I golf, I've golfed with Salk before, and it's like yacht music is his box.
There's no Book of David. Why are we talking about David so much? What book is he in?
Slade the Giant.
Like, what's his deal? Where does he show
Like
up?
David and Goliath.
He's a very important person in the Bible.
No, I know,
Maybe
but
throw
like
like a
where?
stone and hit the giant in the eye and dropped him.
Bow. Right in the face.
Wyman and Bob coming up next on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Deep to right field. Going, goodbye baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a view that's a real home run, check out right field. Make that the dump yard. Sure, it's a great spot to see our fearless outfielders fly, dive, and slide.
Wow! Victor Robles makes the catch.
But you might get to flash some leather too, because the forecast in the dump yard always calls for rain. Raining big dumper home runs, that is.
Number 60, the magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Mark your calendars, Mariners fans. This season is jam-packed with epic events. Be here for Ichiro Replica Statue Night, April 10th, presented by BDA. Humpy Shoulder Plush Night, April 11th, thanks to Microsoft. And Randy Johnson Number Retirement Night, May 2nd, presented by T-Mobile. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? But do you have a room just sitting empty and you've dreamt of making it your own home gym? Hey, Brock Heward here, and working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years, and you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do the rest. A complete fitness room design. It's no secret why everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have everything from flooring to weights that go in a home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months. Plus, mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here to get you in the best shape. So go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ Bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's radio to 64,000.
Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision.
If you're over 50 and you've been diagnosed with a cataract, or your vision is changing as you're developing an early cataract, you could be a perfect candidate for K2 Vision RLE.
It's inevitable. At some point, typically in your 60s or 70s, you'll have a dysfunctional lens that eventually becomes a cataract. To restore your vision, you will someday need a procedure such as refractive lens exchange.
The question is, are you done with glasses? Do you want to spend your good, active years hassling with changing prescriptions and needing readers?
K2 Vision RLE can give you great vision now, permanently, and you'll never develop that cataract. The procedure is quick and painless, and our state-of-the-art custom lens technologies give highly predictable outcomes.
K2 Vision doctors have performed over 150,000 procedures. They know when it's your right time for RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consult today at k2visionrle.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our